three filmmakers with nothing in common. They thought they had it all figured out. They don't just follow the movies, they make them. Alexander Pavlak, Mario Silvas, and Jamal Alexander are the makers on film.
How you been?
I've been pretty good. How have you been?
Been better.
How did your procedure go, or did you not get it?
I did not get it because I had a kidney stone, and the doc says he wouldn't do it with me having the kidney stone because he's afraid it's going to be too much pain.
Right.
Which sucks because now I got to wait another 4 months.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that does suck.
I got to wait until December 17th to have the procedure, and just just want this whole thing behind me at some point.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's gonna be very frustrating for you.
Mhm. Did you hear that just now?
Yeah, it sounded like the TV was on or something.
Okay, yeah, all right. So at least I know what's coming through on your end. You said you had some good news about the director of Byline. Is he
Uh,
getting sued or something?
no, you didn't hear?
No, what?
I wouldn't necessarily call it good news, but it's interesting news. He's been arrested. He brutally and savagely beat his girlfriend to death.
What?
Apparently, you don't watch the news.
No, I. What?
Yep. Um,
What did this?
this happened about a week ago yesterday. So
What,
last Sunday or Monday, Sunday night, Monday morning, something like that.
what was the name of this director?
Chris Raboyne. Christopher
Fr-
Raboyne is how you're gonna find it. Yeah,
Christopher
Raboyne.
Ribo.
Rabion.
R Rabion or Raboin.
Yes, definitely one of those two. If you go on to mof.ninja, there's a link there to a news report about the woman that he allegedly murdered.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
By the way, we have to start doing reaction videos at some point.
yeah, I know.
Okay. Hamlet 2. Ted McGinley is the new Doctor Who.
Yeah, there should be in Hamlet too. If you go in
Okay.
there, there's a link in there.
Okay.
Yeah, Mario told me about this last week. Apparently, what happened was she's about my age, so she's like I think she's actually was 46. Um, Rather attractive woman too, who uh, generally she liked to help people. I don't think she worked with battered women. That would have been ironic if she did, but she did a lot of work with like um, kids and things like that. I think she was trying to be a or was a like a social worker or something. And
Yeah.
he spent the night Sunday. Monday morning they had some sort of argument. He got violent, did what he did, and then I think he kind of panicked and ran and stole her SUV. And somebody called the cops, and as the cops were coming in, they saw him driving off. So one of the cops followed him while the other ones checked out the scene, found out she was non-responsive, and and radioed to the other guy, and they pursued him, and he refused to stop. So they did a pit maneuver to pull him over and arrested him. I assume there was some sort of tackling involved in that,
Huh.
but yeah, he is now on $200,000 bond, and he's, I guess, awaiting trial. I don't know if he's out on bond or if that was just the price of the bond. I assume he's
Did he
out.
sh-
Yeah, he
did he
shaved.
shave or so?
He shaved and he's got a haircut. He got a position with, I think, the Tucson Film Office. So he kind of made himself look more respectable and less like Santa Claus.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
huh.
You have to kind of do the Batman thing where you cover over the section of face that you don't normally see and just kind of concentrate on the eyes and the nose, and yeah, it's him.
This is just I've seen. Well, no, I've seen this story before. Like I was looking through Tucson News the other day, and his face came up, and I just didn't realize it was the same guy.
Oh yeah, it's a night and day difference. He looked like a Canadian Santa Claus before. Now he looks like what a lawyer should look like.
Huh.
His mugshot, which I found most interesting because I wasn't sure if the police did that to him or not, because that's the first time I saw him all clean shaven. But he had like what looked like a sheet wrapped around him, like a prison style sheet, that kind of blue colored generic thing. And Mario and I were trying to figure out why he had that, and it was I'm thinking either he was like half naked when they found him, or he was covered in blood, and they didn't want that on a official photograph.
Here's the practice program.
Yeah, I have the feeling because Chris is kind of OCD, and he has some, anger issues apparently, that she probably saw him as a project and was probably trying to fix him.
Give me just a second. I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know that number, so not answering. All right. So wait, you said you thought he might have been a project or something?
I think she saw him as a project and probably tried to help him in some way.
Yeah. And we just check something real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody just keeps trying to contact me. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
But that's well, let's call it what it is first. A tragic story.
Very, yes.
That's just is he like this happened like a week ago or 6 days ago? It looks on some of the news.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, not everybody reported it all at the same time.
But is there like a have you heard from anybody else that used to work with him?
The news organization contacted and interviewed Mike Roper from the Film Lab,
Yeah.
and that interview has since been taken off the website. But Mikey did
What
not. talk favorably about Christopher Boyne. He talked about his attitude and his verbal abuse towards anybody that he would have employed on a film set.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna need to look that up. But was it like, just the fact that it's weird, like you've seen this guy before, like you see this kind of thing on the news all the time, but then you actually have it kind of like be 6 degrees of separation from you.
Yeah.
It's just, my God, like who'd have thought?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, it's working.
Yes. We were just talking about the news about Christopher Boyne.
Oh, what's going on with that? Oh wait, I'm only on conversation with you. Is Jamal here?
Yes.
Oh, I
I
don't
was
see.
I was actually just filling him in. Is it? Wait.
No, I'm only talking to you. For some
Oh.
reason I cannot call both of you at the same time.
All right. Let me hang up on you and I'll call you back. So give me a
Okay,
sec.
cool.
Hey, what's up? Sorry.
Sorry.
Mario called in. I thought I added him to the thing, but it was a separate call. So
Okay.
give me 1 second.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, Jamal.
What's up, buddy?
What up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm
It's,
up. I'm about.
I'm glad you're breathing. Let me put it that way.
Not quite. I'm not quite at that stage yet.
Yeah. I'm just glad you're here, though.
I appreciate it.
True, true. So I
Yeah.
was just
So
telling him
what's going
about
on?
they were there was a news story about Christopher Boyne's girlfriend and who she was, and I posted that on mof.ninja on our last show since we talked about it on the last show.
Okay.
So if you wanna see that, go over there and check that out. But she was kind of a humanitarian. She was, helping people out and stuff. And my theory is that she might have just saw Chris as kind of a project, somebody she could help because of his like OCD and his, anger issues and all that. So unfortunately, she was unable to.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Let's see. My internet is so slow right now.
But
There we go. Where did you post it up on?
it's
On
on the last
Hamlet.
show,
Okay, Hamilton.
Hamlet, yeah. So
What the fuck?
you saw that interview that Mikey gave.
I didn't see it. He was actually telling me about it.
Okay.
I asked him. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like
The
that's all I texted him. I was like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, I know, right? And then he just told me everything that he said. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, he well, that interview has been taken down.
Has it really?
Yes, but I was not able to see the interview, but I heard the audio on it. Yeah, for some reason my internet on my phone wasn't working properly.
Oh, okay.
But
My sister actually texted me that night. She's like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, I just saw Mikey on TV. Like, did you ever shoot with him? I was like, yeah, I actually shot with him before. And
several times,
oh,
on a couple different
actually,
movies.
it's working for me.
Is it? Yeah, it
Hold on.
wasn't working for me, so
But it's not on that same
Second
thing,
degree
is it?
murder, boyfriend fled, chased to river and oracle.
yeah. So yeah, he spent the night Sunday. Yes, they got into some sort of altercation Monday morning, and that's when, he went off on her. And
Yeah. I'm trying to find Mikey's part. I'm going to see what he says.
he
So
did not
Selena Gilbert.
yeah, he did not speak favorably.
I don't think he's on the link you have.
Oh,
I
he's
don't think
not.
he's on the link that you have on the website.
Okay, yeah, because there was a video to it.
Oh, I got you. No, then I don't see Mikey anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister was like, "Holy shit! I can't believe like you worked with him." Like, Yup.
Yeah, I know, right?
Fuck, that sucks. Well,
Yeah, because Mikey talked about, how Reboyne, flies into rages and his anger issues and
yeah.
lots of other stuff like that, and how he refuses to work with, or refused to work with Chris. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to work with Chris ever again after this.
Oh, I think Chris
He's on,
different things are in
dude.
store for Chris.
He what?
Okay, well, he's going for murder too.
Yeah.
That's
What?
what they're counting under.
I,
And that's 16. That's 16 average. It's 10 to 20, but it's 16 average is what they mainly go for now in Pima County.
right.
So he's 52 right now,
Yeah.
and when he gets out, he's going to be 68. Let's say, uh, let's say 62 if he does.
Right.
Uh, I have a feeling a lot of things are going to change for him.
Oh, duh. Not only
I
that,
highly doubt film is going to be on his list of things that he wants to accomplish in his life again.
he's
I think his list now goes: don't get raped in prison. Uh,
Okay,
right.
that's
Right
another
checks the
don't
thing.
get
lawyer.
shanked in prison.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's an absolute prick in prison, which again we all know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing should happen to him. Unless you're like a right prick, or unless someone they have it out for you right away. I mean, because he was defense attorney for a decade, or for about a decade or so.
Was he a defense attorney? I thought he was just did contract law and stuff like that, patent law.
Well, that's what he did after he got out. When he moved to Tucson,
Mm.
that's what he did. But when he was in Phoenix, he was a defense attorney.
Interesting.
Well, from what I've been reading about him, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen to him. But yeah, I was actually talking to Mike Ryan, and he was saying 16 years is about the average, because I was looking at murder two charges because I couldn't figure out what that meant. And they're saying it's roughly anywhere from 10 to 20 years. 16 is the average, what people will get in Pima County. And, it's all up in the air of how bad or what he's going to plead guilty to, if at all. But the thing is, he was actually, because of who he was when he wasn't a lawyer, he knew a lot of really influential people. So
Right.
that could also sway a lot of influences, or that could sway a lot of the judgment of what happens to him.
Right. Well,
So,
I think his best defense right now would probably be to plead insanity, temporary insanity.
yeah,
But
but but see, here's the thing: you can plead it, but you actually have to back it up. Mikey, even if they are just using that interview, because they actually might, even if they are just using it, that's just him being a prick.
Yeah.
That's not even temporary insanity. That's him having, um, uh, what's that?
Rage issues.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
But that's just him having that. That's not him being insane.
Right.
So I don't know what's gonna happen, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's it's definitely something that I want to keep track of. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I've always been interested in the judicial system anyway, and to see it play out like this,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very sad thing that what happened to that woman. I mean,
Yes, it is.
she obviously did not deserve any of this, but man, and my heart goes out to her, and I hope I don't know.
I hope her family's dealing with it well. I hope nothing but the best for them.
And it happens, what, a week and a half before Thanksgiving. That sucks.
Yeah, right? Fucking family time right now.
Yeah.
Be thankful for your family members, folks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For,
Oh, speaking of family, so
yeah.
I'm coming down to see mine on the 10th through the 16th.
Okay.
So if you guys are in town, I will come by and bug the shit out of you.
Okay.
Okay.
I just don't know what you guys are doing, so I'm
Well,
just putting it out there.
did you still need my address or our addresses?
No, I just gave up on that. I'm just gonna give it to you guys when I see you.
Okay.
Well, because I thought I was like, oh, I'll just give it to him, or I was like, I'll mail it to him. And then like a week later, my dad's like, hey Mario, you want to come by, or you want to come to Arizona for about a week? I was like, I'm just gonna give those assholes their presents. I was like, yeah, I'll see them.
Oh, great. Now that means I have to buy you something. Thanks a lot, jerk.
No, you don't.
I'm gonna. Yes, we do. It's only polite,
Yes, you're only getting a present because it's polite.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
because
say,
we care
hey,
about you.
when has Alex ever been polite?
Well, then you're getting a present only because I care about you, Mario.
It's out of spite, isn't it?
You
He
know me.
doesn't want to let you have one up on him.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
There, hold on a second.
He's gonna go touch himself. So what have you been up to, man?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to. Got so much going on with the health stuff. It's just starting to aggravate me a lot. So I'm just trying to stay calm. You know, binge watching stuff helps because I just got Hulu and Netflix and all that great stuff installed.
Have you seen any of that new Jessica
But
Jones yet?
so, no, and I need to before I have to be in the right mindset because I need to sit down and watch the whole thing. Otherwise, I'll never finish it.
Right.
I saw one episode of it. I liked it. Obviously, there's a couple of things missing. It's not the best thing in the world, but
Is it
it's.
is it
Hmm?
pretty comparable to Daredevil?
I'm gonna say no,
Oh, okay.
but it is it's entertainable. Like there's no other way of putting it. It's really good. I enjoy the hell out of it.
Hmm.
No, I saw 2 episodes. Um, it's really good. It's enjoyable. I mean, it's was it Kristen Ritter is playing Jessica Jones, and if anybody's not familiar with Jessica Jones, um, fucking Marvel character. Um, they haven't really delved too much into the actual storyline itself, but I was doing some research. Basically, some people they're essentially mutants, and they have different superpowers. It's almost like Hero.
Okay.
Some people have like super strength, some people can fly, some people are like psychics, and blah blah blah, all the way through. And so she is super strong, and she can fly ish.
Is it more like leaping?
Well, she can fly, but she hasn't really uh, found a reason to actually fly. So she knows she can do it, but she jumps very well.
Hmm.
Is the easiest way of putting it. Um,
So you say that, and I thought of She Could Fly Ish. I'm like going like Hancock with Will Smith, like he flies she drunk or something.
that was a terrible movie.
Uh,
I hated that film so much.
I appreciated the effort.
Uh, how?
I mean, it's a different take. How many different takes on Superman do you see, let alone in film? Because that's all that was. It was like a weird take on Superman.
Yeah, I can
Honest,
see that.
I, honestly, it was a weird combination of Superman and Wolverine, like the whole missing memory thing and stuff like that.
Oh no, like I get it. Trust me, I get that film, but it was just terrible.
There
Like
were some holes in it.
Some. No, there's quite a few holes in that movie, but
Nah, dude, it was just one big hole.
yeah,
I dug on the character that Will Smith portrayed Hancock to be, that he wasn't, he wasn't the Boy Scout. He wasn't what you would think
Dog.
a superhero to be. He was kind of crotchety and he was a dick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that aspect of it, that that it was a different kind of character. So that was cool, and that he had to have a publicist to make the public like him. Because usually heroes, they just do good things and people like you. You don't need a publicist.
Yeah.
So there was some cool elements to it, but overall, yeah, the story, there are some parts of it that just didn't make any sense.
I kind of like the idea that he had a publicist because if Superman was real, he'd probably be like part celebrity. Like he'd have a publicist and a spokesperson and stuff like that.
Oh my God,
Like,
could you imagine being Batman's publicist?
yeah. No, folks, he's not Bruce Wayne. No matter how much stuff he has that obviously costs millions of dollars.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Sorry, my computer started restarting.
Ugh.
And with that, he is gone. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of the sheer level of, bodily damage that he does. I'm sure lots of criminals would be trying to sue Batman.
Yeah.
He just terrorizes people. The publicist for Batman would be kind of the anti-publicist. He would have to try to convince people that Batman doesn't exist.
Yeah. Like a giant man in a bat suit. Get out of here.
Come on, who does that?
Next, you're gonna tell me there's like Atlantis is real and there's people that live under the ocean or aliens are real or something. What? Red Cape? No. Don't get out the metropolis much.
I'm just a simple country publicist.
Yeah.
I don't know all these fancy things about other superheroes.
I love how there's a simple country thing for everything now. Just a simple country brain surgeon. Don't know nothing about those. They're human brains.
Mostly cow brains is what I work on. With mad cow disease and all.
Yeah.
I'm just a simple country psychiatrist. That sounds like you, sir, have an Oedipus complex.
By the way, have you seen pictures for the new X-Men movie coming out?
I didn't realize there was a new X-Men movie coming out.
Okay, before you do, the main villain is Apocalypse. You remember the old cartoon from the 90s?
Yeah, okay, yes, I have heard of that, and I think I may have seen a picture or two of Apocalypse.
Do you remember also from the 90s that Power Rangers movie?
Yes.
Do you remember Ivan Ooze?
Yes, I do.
And you've seen pictures of this Apocalypse they have for the movie?
I have, but I don't remember what it looked like, but I'm going to look it up now.
Just keep Ivan Ooze in mind when you see him.
I think I've heard that critique about him, that he looks a bit Power Rangers-ish.
Well, he looks dead on like, Ivan Ooze.
Let's see, let's go to images. What do we got here? He is purple. That was a mistake. Do they got a new chick playing Storm? It's not Halle Berry anymore?
Well, no, it's supposed to be younger Halle Berry.
Oh. He does kind of look Ivan Ooze-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Except, didn't Ivan Ooze have hair or something? Or did he have a helmet and a headpiece too?
I think he was bald or something. So I just found a new website that I go to for like action movies because I have sites for like sci-fi movies and stuff like that and comic book movies. Mm-hmm. I recently found something called manlymovie.net.
Okay.
It's got nothing but like action movies and action stars on it. And I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like they're already started production on John Wick 2, and there's set photos.
Oh, interesting.
Love John Wick.
Total Recall, my unbelievable true story. Real mob bosses slam De Niro and Pacino.
Expect Creed sequels. Well, I did before.
Michael Biehn backtracks on Alien sequel info. Yesterday, Michael Biehn threw up some details on the alternate Alien sequels.
Yeah.
Expect Creed sequel. That must be doing pretty good. Charlie Sheen's man card permanently revoked.
I'm reading that story right now, and the reason, his man card's revoked. A new video has reportedly surfaced showing Charlie Sheen smoking crack cocaine and performing oral sex on another man the same year he was diagnosed with HIV.
Interesting.
Okay. That's okay. Man card officially revoked.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the John Wick stills, and the first thing I notice is that he's driving the Chevy.
Charger?
No, it's the Malibu is the base, but it's the Chevy Chevelle SS.
Okay.
It's not the SS, but it's the Chevy Chevelle.
Oh, no,
And
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the pictures now. I thought you meant the car he was driving at the end of that movie, because he was driving like a newer like Charger at the end, I think.
yeah, he was. So, which this must have been the vehicle John Leguizamo gave him,
Mm.
and I guess he never got his Mustang back.
Well,
Which,
no, he never did.
well, I mean, he could have. You know, that's what I would have done. I would have, started John Wick 2 with him, either finding the Mustang or purchasing a one to look just like it, but I would have had him find it. Like had him scour through the entire Russian mafia looking for that thing.
Well, then you got to like really sort of play up the significance of that car. What's the significance of that car, really?
That could have been like his dad's car.
Uh,
One of those things that him and his dad fixed up in the garage when he was a kid. Or like a car that his dad bought new and then, he fixed it up after his dad died or whatever. I mean, you can make any kind of actual attachment to it.
well, no. The big thing about the first movie is that there was the thing that triggers him, the thing that just sets him off, wasn't the fact that they stole his car or beat him up. It's the fact that they killed the dog, and
I
there was
know.
so much invested in that he doesn't mention the car again for the rest of that movie. He doesn't really care about the car. He cares about getting the people to kill the dog.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's the same people. I mean, finding the car means that you completely broke his um his reputation in the mafia. That he broke the mob leaders and the mob sons' reputation.
Well, he killed him, so I'm sure he's broken all of it.
Well, you can kill a guy and his reputation still be intact. Everybody in the mafia dies eventually. Nobody gets out. Nobody retires. Well, one guy retired.
I'm looking at I'm still on Manly Movies. Do you remember Bill Goldberg?
Oh, I just ran across that article. Returns to action movies in Checkpoint. Goldberg, yeah, he was a wrestler, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm starting to dig some of these B movies that come out on direct to DVD. I mean, they're kind of like I think I've said this before. They're modern day. I don't want to say Grindhouse. What do they? Would they be Grindhouse?
Um, it would uh, kind of yes. I mean, done
Yeah,
cheaply ish. I mean,
yeah.
I'm
That's
sure
that's pretty
Goldberg
much what
does
I'm going for.
Yeah, I'm sure Goldberg doesn't come cheaply, but exploitation kind of movies, grindhouse movies.
That's the movie that was the word I was looking for. Exploitation flicks, like cheaply made, but
Yeah.
sort of kind of like just what they are. They're not looking for like critical acclaim. They're just kind of like fun movies to have.
Hmm.
Done by movie buffs, basically movie buffs making movies for movie buffs.
Basically, yeah.
I'm loving this site that I found. And clearly, and right off the gate, one of the headlines just talks about how people hate the fact that the new Ghostbusters is just all women now.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that they're all women. Because do we lose some of the frat humor from the first couple? Yeah.
Well, Heather and I was talking about this a while ago. Have you ever seen the TV show Trailer Park Boys?
No,
Okay.
I have it on either my Netflix or my Hulu, and I just don't. One of these days, I'll look it up.
Yeah. So basically, it's a story about these three guys who live in a trailer park and they're kind of idiots and they do idiot things. It's very much a throwback to like Lucille Ball, Leave It to Beaver, stuff like that, where people were just uh, getting into stupid situations and comedy, ensuing from that.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this and how it's three guys doing this, and Heather was like, "Well, where are the women? And there are women in Trailer Park Boys, and they're kind of equally as dumb as the guys. But they're not portrayed the same way. One's kind of portrayed kind of slutty, the other one's kind of portrayed kind of like a lesbian. Whereas
Right.
the three guys are like, lovable imps who get into trouble, but you can never really hate them. And it's like, where's that female archetype like that? Where are the girls who don't give a fuck, who get into trouble, who are basically the Bart Simpson the of the female sex, or and maybe this is that movie that can do that, and maybe this is the movie that either is going to show that there's a place for them, and that like Lucille Ball, they can come back and do stuff like that, or people are just going to really really hate this. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be based on the principle that it is all women instead of watching it and giving it a chance, but you never know. But maybe people will dislike this and not appreciate the place in which the comedy comes from. But if you write this well enough, it can be either men or women in these parts. It other than Peter Venkman and his relationship to what's her face from Aliens, Ripley, um, there really wasn't any need for the characters to be specifically male or female. Even
Sigourney Weaver. Before
Sigourney
we go to Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, but even the relationship between Egon and the receptionist, they could have just reversed those sexes and still it been equally as entertaining and equally as poignant.
I hate the fact that in movie two she ends up falling in with God, what was his name?
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Mario,
Uh,
stop talking. Something's really wrong with your mic, and it's coming up as really like high pitched garbling.
yeah, I've dealt with this before.
Yeah, ooh.
So the one way to do it, click Mario gone.
That
That's
was that was really creepy right there.
yeah, it has something to do with his phone being connected to the internet with. I think his phone and his computer are on Skype at the same time.
Ah, hang on. Sony Pictures had to one beloved franchise. He calls it outright sexist. I don't mind. Here's my concern. I want the movie to be funny. I don't care who the actual Ghostbusters are, if they're all women or they're all men, or it's some weird combination like two girls, a cup, and a Ghostbuster car. I don't care. I want the movie to be funny.
Ugh, Mario again. Hold on a second. No, I think he hung up. Okay, you're absolutely right, and it's funny that you bring up Two Girls in a Cup because I used that reference the other day.
Yeah.
People were complaining about the Starbucks cup. I don't know if you've heard about this.
The race together.
No, no, instead of having holiday pictures on their cups, which the holiday pictures were like snowmen and maybe Santa Claus and stuff like that, like reindeer, stuff that are pretty generic, secular, Christmassy stuff.
Yeah.
They just went to just a red cup and just a green cup. They're not doing any kind of pictures on them. They're just making them streamlined and simple, and they're doing it kind of all denominations. So people are up in arms now that there's this war on Christmas. And first off, the people who are complaining about the war on Christmas are usually Christians. And what uh, Starbucks did, they didn't do anything Christiany. They didn't do mangers. They didn't do Bible verses. They didn't do crosses. They didn't do anything like that, or three wise men or stars. They did more generic, Santa Claus and reindeers and elves kind of things. So the people who are complaining about this shouldn't really be complaining about it because it has nothing to do with their religion. It's just the secular portion of the holiday, which is basically just commercialized anyway.
You
So,
know what? You know what I would do if I'm Starbucks? I'd say screw it. I bring back I keep the red and the green for those who don't want it. I bring back the traditional holiday ones,
mhm.
and then I go out of my way to actually incorporate the other two because I can only think of two. The other two religious holidays celebrated this time of year. I want
Hanukkah,
like.
yeah,
I want cups with menorahs and
whatever
Star of
Kwanzaa
David's
has.
on them.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then whatever Kwanzaa has.
yeah.
Hell, I go a step further and have one with a stick sticking out of like a little base, and I just draw it on there and go Festivus. There you go.
It should actually have like a parentheses, the word Festivus pull, and then another parentheses on it, so people know what it is. Or
Or just like a caricature or drawn face of Jerry Stiller on the cup.
well, I was gonna say, relabel the straws that you get to stir your coffee with when you get cream and sugar, call them Festivus pulls.
There you go.
But I related the whole thing that I haven't heard about a controversy over a cup this big since Two Girls in a Cup.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's a fun way to explain it. What was the name of the green ghost? Slimer. Two girls, a cup, and Slimer. That I don't care if that's what this movie has, as long as it's funny. That's all I care about.
it depends who wrote it. If it goes back to the guys who wrote it before, Bill Murray, or not Rick Moranis, but oh, he died though. But I think the script was in
Oh my
development
god.
before he died.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Hey.
is Mario back? Hello?
Well, that squeaking garbling thing means he's back.
Yeah, you've got the phone on and the computer on at the same time. You need to log out of one of those, dude. I think. I can't understand you.
Yeah.
So he goes bye-bye again.
He sounds he sounds like a drunk chipmunk.
Kind of, yeah. So the cool thing about this, and this is how I would have gone if I would have done a Ghostbusters. Instead of using an old ambulance like they did in the original movies,
Yeah.
they went with a hearse.
Ah.
And what I would have done, because they did a commercial inside the of the movie, and even the music video for the Ghostbusters theme song played out kind of like a commercial and sounded like a jingle. I would do the first commercial or the first um, a trailer as kind of a commercial, as if it were a commercial for like a funeral parlor or something. Have it very somber, if you've recently lost somebody and you don't know who to turn to, and then you just see like people walking past what is obviously a hearse, and then throwing something into the back of it, and then when they walk away from the hearse, you see the Ghostbuster symbol on the side of it, and that would be my first teaser trailer for that. So I think they know what they're doing here. I think they know exactly what audience they're going for, and with movies like Identity Thief and with her career, what's her face? I want to say Jenny McCarthy, and I know that's not right.
No, it's her cousin, Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, with the Spy that she did, and then she did another movie that are rather successful, and and
Right.
and
And
I know.
I like her. And this is why I say I really hope it's funny. Because I haven't necessarily thought she was funny, but I know the other three people in this movie, Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon, and God, Wig. Kristen Wiig.
Hmm, okay.
I've seen them, and I really like Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon on SNL, and I like Christine Wiig in Bridesmaids. I think maybe not so much as a laugh out loud, but more like I think she's charming.
I gotta say though, looking at this picture from the movie, The one girl, the blonde, looks like Egon, like a female version of Egon. Like
That's Kate McKinnon.
yeah, like that's his kid or something. So if they go that route, I think they'll still have a connection to the originals. I think if they reference some of the people who've been doing fan films, like the guys out of I think it's Denver, the Denver Ghostbusters. If they reference those guys and make it sound like it's a nationwide kind of like a Stanley Steamer kind of franchise, I think they have a lot to work with there, and I think they can do something pretty good with it.
Here, my Dreamcast. What because you offered me your pitch on them. Here's my pitch on how I saw the Ghostbusters going down.
Mhm.
Like I picture them going out of business, and then years later, somebody just taking up the mantle. My Dreamcast always involved Ryan Reynolds. Just to cover all my bases, this is the Dreamcast. Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, Steve Carell, and Kevin Hart.
Interesting. See, I was thinking more like Justin Long and what's his face Seth Rogen, like Justin Long, Seth Rogen, because those two guys play well together. And then like I could see like Ryan Reynolds bringing like
Well,
a pretty boy.
well, I have Ryan Reynolds in there because he's kind of like the lead. He's like the pretty boy. He plus Ryan Reynolds. Reynolds always casts like the lovable like Cad or something,
Yeah.
which is basically what Peter Venkman was in the first
Yeah.
ones.
Well,
And then I have Dwayne Johnson coming in as the straight man, the way that Ernie Hudson
yeah,
was in in those. And then I had the two real bases for humor in Kevin Hart and Steve Carell.
yeah.
And
Well,
and Steve Carell could definitely pull off like the brainy type of the bunch.
you see, you would like The Rock can do humor, and he actually does it very well. And I think Ryan Reynolds, his brand of humor is not my favorite, but
They
if
do. It is humor, and somebody out there does get it,
yeah.
and that's why I put all of them in there. They're sort of they're all capable of doing like comedy. So
Yeah, they would be able to work well off of each other. But if you brought Ryan Reynolds in as being the outsider, like they brought in Ernie Hudson,
no,
and
no,
being the guy who doesn't know anything about ghostbusting, he's just looking for a job and he's the pretty boy, and all of a sudden he's thrown into all this weird shit.
yeah.
That would probably be conducive to his acting style and his comedy style.
Well, I always figured what would happen is somebody puts it back together again.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Reynolds' character goes out and he finds it and says, like it's a get rich quick scheme, and he goes, I got it, and then he goes out and finds a smart guy, a fellow investor, and then somebody that actually knows what they're doing in combat.
Well, see, I would like to see The Rock as being either the smart guy or the investor.
No, the other investor being Kevin Hart and the smart guy being Steve Carell.
Yeah.
But and instead of like the ambulance or the hearse or something, because it's this movie would be done like if it was done recently, I would have said they can't afford anything, so they go out and they find an old H2, the Hummer,
Yeah.
and just turn that into their new Ghostbusters vehicle. What did it have a name? I'm sure it had a name.
It was just referred to as Ecto 1 because of
Okay.
like that's what it said.
Okay, that would be Ecto 2 then.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
That was my ideal. It's the funny men have changed because that's just the nature of Hollywood. There's always some new comic coming up taking over as the lead comic. Right now it seems to be Kevin Hart, but I've always visualized it with both Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson both kind of occupying those lead and peripheral lead characters. And
Well,
then
you did see that Kevin Hart and The Rock are in a movie together, right?
yes, they are, and I haven't even looked at the trailer for that. I will at some point. God,
It's called Central Intelligence.
yeah.
And
I think at one point I visualized Will Ferrell in there.
Will Ferrell is kind of an obvious choice. I personally don't much care for his acting or his comedy. Like I like his acting when he does a little bit more serious stuff, but I dislike it when he does when he does comedy. Even though him and Marky Mark are doing another comedy together,
Yeah, what is it, Daddy's Home or something?
something like that.
But yeah, over the years, the I think those two were the more important characters than even the Dwayne and Ryan's characters in my mind.
Yeah.
Whoever the two comedians you brought on board were supposed to carry most of that movie for me.
Well, you see, though, like I said, I think The Rock could really do that. I think The Rock would be he would be a cool character to bring on to make everybody think he's just the dumb and the muscle, but he would
Yeah.
end up being like really knowledgeable about stuff, and then you can see him like throwing in jokes because even as Ernie Hudson as the straight man, he still did comedic takes, and he did some good lines.
Well, no, the comedic take that he had, and which I would have instilled into Dwayne Johnson's character, was that he would be absolutely terrified of the job. Like he shows up in
Like
the
afraid of
ad, so
ghosts.
yeah, like combat training necessary. He just shows up. They don't actually tell him what it's for
Mhm.
until they show him the uniform. He thinks about it for a second, thinks about the money he could be making, and says, "I'm really hard up for money," and goes, "Okay, I'll do this." And then the rest of his role in that movie is just to be absolutely terrified of ghosts.
Well, if he's a combat guy,
Well,
then
yeah, he's
there,
a
there
combat.
there
He's
should
com-
there should be ghosts of guys that he dealt with before, like he's either killed or accidentally killed or whatever.
like just his reactions, like screaming at the top of his lungs and stuff like that. That would have been his funny bit for it.
Like
But
him
otherwise,
running out of a
like
building.
like he's competent right up until he sees them. That's how I visualize it.
Yeah.
Like he tells them to clear the rooms, check the corners, stuff like that when they kick down the door,
Mm.
and then they turn the corner and there's a ghost, and he just turns to
And of course, it should be Slimer, and it should be a throwback to the original movie when Slimer comes by and slimes Peter Venkman.
yes, he's
And
the guy that gets slimed by Slimer.
and you hear him yelling over the microphone.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, that I could see. That actually would be kind of cool.
And then the only one that kind of Ryan Reynolds I always had in there because again he's the lovable cat. I could even replace him with a Bradley Cooper, like guys that the pretty boy funny guys that we have so much of nowadays.
Almost to a lesser extent, what's his face? Who does stand up? God, he
Dane Cook.
Dane Cook. Thank you. Yes. And I don't like Dane Cook's comedy stylings either, and it really annoys me that he laughs at his own jokes on stage that he's performed hundreds of
Well
times.
then, well then you're in luck then because he's not laughing at his own jokes. He's laughing at jokes he's stolen from other people. That's why you haven't seen Dane Cook in so long. They a lot of because it's a fraternity, the stand up comics,
Hmm.
and they stand up for each other.
Yeah,
That's why you haven't seen Mincy in a while, because
yeah.
guys, other comics will storm the stage and just kind of like steal the show and like, oh,
Well,
why are you stealing this guy's joke?
well, that's the other thing. Not only does he laugh at his own jokes that he's not only heard but told 100 times, but he steals other people's jokes and that doesn't tell them very well.
Yeah,
There are like jokes that are tried and true that he's said that he's done that just they fall flat,
yeah.
and it amazes me. So, you there, Mario?
Am I?
Yes, you are. Okay, good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I don't know why, but my phone. Hey, you need to start answering my texts.
Hey, my phone's actually shut off for non-pay right now, so I can't answer your text.
Touche. So that when you get your phone, you're gonna have like 8 texts from me.
Oh no, texts come in. I can see your texts. I just can't answer to them. If you were to actually have called me, I could have answered the phone, but I can't do outgoing calls. Actually, I can because you can call through
I can call
Facebook.
through Skype, can't I?
You can call through Skype,
Yeah.
but you can also call through Facebook. If you go into Facebook Messenger and you click on like somebody's like if you have a list of conversations, if you click on somebody that you've conversed with,
Yeah.
there should be a little phone icon there. If you press the phone icon, it will dial that person if their phone number is associated on Facebook. And your phone number will not show up on the caller ID. It just says Mario's calling from Facebook if it's Mario calling from Facebook. And you as Mario don't get my number, but you can call people through Facebook. As long
Huh.
as you're friends and as long as you have a conversation open with them.
Fucking technology. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm here.
Yes, you are. We were just talking about the new Ghostbusters, that it's an all-female cast.
Well, here first go to because I found a website we could go to for just action movies, and on top of all the ones we go for comic book and sci-fi, the website is manlymovie.net. I didn't make that up.
Okay.
Anyway, we were talking about the new Ghostbusters, and we both actually threw out pitches for like what we would have done with the Ghostbusters.
I love the headline to this article though. Sony Pictures head on Ghostbusters fans. Fuck them.
Yeah, because they're all mad because they say he's politicized. They replaced him with all women. I didn't think of it as politicized. I think of it as they found Melissa McCarthy and decided, hey, let's just find other women to be with her.
Well,
That's it.
I did a movie like this. I did Mob Rules, where I wrote this script. It was, to be honest, it was a little tripe. It was a little cliche in some areas, but I decided to
Mm.
shoot it with all women just to make it different. Because if you do it with guys, it's just going to be a bunch of guys pretending to be mafioso guys or gangsters or whatever. And we've seen it a million times. You rarely ever see it with women. And during the filming of this, one of the girls comes up to me. I forget which one it was. I think it was Gloria. uh, I was sitting down, we were having lunch, and she just looks at me and she's like, I really want to thank you for this script. You didn't dumb it down. You didn't, make it, you didn't feminize it at all. You made a really, kind of gritty thing here, something that I could see the guys doing, and you let us do it. And she's like, I really thank you for that. So I think there's something to every once in a while handing a script over that should go to a bunch of guys, to a bunch of women, and just letting them run with it and not changing a word of it and seeing where it goes. And if it's successful, kudos to you. If it fails, at least you tried. At least you did something different with it. So I fully support the Ghostbusters in doing their all female cast. I think that's as long as they have a male receptionist.
Well, they do actually. You know who it is?
Please say it's Ryan Reynolds.
No, it was Channing Tatum,
Oh, see, there you go.
and then he left.
Oh,
So they replaced him with Chris Hemsworth.
awesome. Even better. Because Chris Hemsworth isn't really considered a comedy guy. I'm sure he's funny, but he's not your go-to guy for comedy. At least Chatham has been in a couple of comedy movies like 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
So good for them for doing that, especially Hemsworth with his long hair and his pretty much godlike physique right now because he plays Thor.
Yeah, there's already a picture of him out there. Like he's supposed to be a nerdy, like good-looking guy because they got him in glasses and he's driving a moped in their uniform around the city.
Oh, they don't have him on a little scooter, a gay little scooter.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a little like moped scooter type deal
Oh,
going on.
I'm sorry, I meant like a smart car
Yeah,
that I would have
yeah.
gone with the Ghostbuster symbol on it.
Again, that H2 would have been a perfect add-on to the. I think would have been a perfect add-on to the Ecto series.
Definitely.
On this site, Snipes is the player is canceled. I knew that was coming.
He was doing another movie.
No, it was a TV show.
Oh,
It was supposed to be like people in Vegas bet on people doing crime and stuff like that. It
oh,
sounded terrible to begin with.
that
Yeah,
concept
that's quite terrible.
actually the concept that you just said sounded interesting. Like, you know, like an O.J. Simpson kind of thing, or like our friend Christopher Boyne, and I use the term friend loosely, to take
He's an
bets on what
acquaintance.
to take bets on how
He's
long
somebody
that
I
car
didn't like
chase.
before.
Yeah, but it's to take bets on how long that car chase is going to last.
Well, no, it's whether or not they succeed or not. They actually pay people to like the. I think the buy-in is that you go in and if you win, you get something, but you have to commit a crime while other people bet on you whether you succeed or not. Something like that.
That could have been interesting. Apparently it wasn't because it got canceled. But
I've always thought that those '80s action heroes, if any of them, the ones that could speak English properly, should have headed to television when the movies dried up.
mhm.
And one of them did in Snipes, and this happened. Uh, Bruce Campbell came back with his Ash versus the Evil Dead,
Yeah,
and that's generating interest.
well, it's because it's done by the same people who did the originals, and they're still about as goofy as they were back then. So they're doing it with the same kind of heart and intention that they did the original movies with. It doesn't matter that they're, for the most part, pretty well off and rich, and they don't have that hunger and that drive that they used to, but they still throw the same kind of energy and intent into it to just make something interesting and goofy and scary and fun.
As opposed to many of the more successful action heroes who kind of just like, for instance, Seagal. Like he shows up for a paycheck
Hmm.
and catering. He showed craft services.
That's probably in his contract that you just pay him in food.
Yeah.
Just
Uh,
donuts.
yeah. Oh yeah. According to this site, he's on some insane tear right now where he's going to release like 8 or 9 movies, something like that, this year.
Really?
The, clearly all going to
Really?
DVD. Clearly all going to DVD, but
Well, yeah, he's probably doing day player shit right now just to get a paycheck. He's probably coming in for 3, 4 days in somebody's movie just to get paid, the $10,000. You do 5 of those, you made $50,000 for the year,
okay.
and
So,
then you can go back to working at your warehouse job for 12.50 an hour.
okay, so Absolution, Code of Honor, Killing Salazar, End of a Gun, The Asian Connection. That's 5 already.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Ghostbuster the list of Ghostbuster actors in here. Um, they also have Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver coming back. They have Dan Aykroyd coming back. Ernie Hudson's coming back. I'm sure these are all cameos.
Yeah.
Andy Garcia, Annie
What?
Potts. Yeah, Andy Garcia is labeled as the New York City mayor. Annie Potts is coming back,
Oh, but
probably as a cameo.
he wasn't in the originals though.
Oh.
Andy Garcia, no, no, but
Yeah.
but
Okay.
the 3 main guys who are still alive and Annie Potts are coming back. I don't see Rick Moranis in here. Um,
Uh, my heart broke when I heard Egon had passed.
yes.
And Ghostbusters was the first thing I thought of too.
Yeah, well, somebody did a picture, and this came out very quickly after he passed. So either somebody knew, or somebody had it all set up ready to go, just waiting for their faces. But somebody did a cartoon, like the original Ghostbusters cartoon style, of the 3 Ghostbusters who are still alive in their outfits, with
Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis.
with the trap open, with Egon's ghost in the trap, waving goodbye to them.
Oh my god.
Uh, and it was pretty cool.
Heartbreaking. Just
Yeah.
absolutely heartbreaking.
There's a ghost prostitute.
In March 2015, Deadline revealed that an all-male Ghostbusters film is in the works from Sony's new label Ghost Core, with Channing Tatum, Reed Carolyn, and Peter Kierman producing. So there's a male version coming out somewhere.
Interesting. I wonder how that's going to fly.
I again, and Mario, you weren't here for this. I don't care if it's all male, all women. Some male, some women, 2 girls, a cup, and Slimer. I don't care. I just want the movie to be funny.
He keeps going back to that 2 girls in a cup thing.
Yeah, dude, that kind of caught me off guard right there.
I don't
So
care.
wait, you want the 2 girls in the cup, or
And Slimer.
Slimer.
oh, maybe
Slimer
maybe
Slimer
he's the
plays
cup.
he plays the contents of the cup.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. They already have some kind of like you know descriptions of the characters. Kristen Wiig as Erin Gilbert, a published author on the subject of paranormal and a professor at Columbia University.
That makes a lot
Melissa,
of sense.
Melissa McCarthy as Abby Yates, who co-authored the book with Gilbert. Kate McKinnon as Julian Holtzman, Yates' new partner. Huh.
Quote unquote partner.
Yeah. And Leslie Jones as Patty Tolan, an NYC subway worker who stumbles across the main supernatural thread in the film. She becomes a new member of the team. I don't like that. You know why I don't like that? They took the black character and made her like the know nothing. That's
Well,
racism.
Hey, whatever you just sent didn't send through to me. Did it
uh,
send to you, Jamal?
it's
No,
weird because I'm trying to send the picture, but it's showing up as the wrong picture.
it
So,
just says this
Oh,
photo is unavailable on both.
okay, yeah, because it says the same thing for me.
that's
Same thing.
Yeah, again, fuck. I'm gonna uninstall Skype from my goddamn phone. It's not working.
I like that Cecily Strong's in this movie too.
yeah.
We're living in this current crop of like SNLers are like very female heavy, and they're very good female heavy. I don't like that they sing a lot, but I've been watching like a few episodes lately. They're pretty good. They're pretty funny.
Honestly, I haven't seen SNL in, honestly, I want to say since I moved. So about 4 years. And I
I
remember when I was, 4 years ago, I mean,
well,
SNL wasn't that good anyway.
that's the beauty of SNL. You watch it, you see a group you like, you watch them for a while, you get tired of them, you stop watching, and then you wait a few years, you come back, it's a completely
Nope, your
different
photo
set.
still sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you stop watching, and you come back in a few years, and it's a completely different set of people. It's like starting over again.
Yeah. I
Uh,
just hope.
it's,
I mean,
it's
honestly, I haven't seen any of the new ones, so I can't really judge. But
I like what
most everybody is saying it's pretty good lately.
lately. Yeah, again, it's because I think like there's this push for them to. There was some controversy a while back about how they didn't have an actual like black female cast member to play Michelle Obama. And so ever since
Really?
then, yeah. So ever since then, they kind of been on this push for to be more diverse, and in sort of a roundabout way, what happened is they got a bunch of really young people on there, and I like what I'm seeing from them.
Hmm. Well, good. I mean, I guess it's good, but sometimes just like I'm glad that they're finally improving, but I'm upset that it took them this long.
Some people held on a little too long. Oh, you know what? You know what happens? I think it's something that should be called the SNL lull, because you get like a few of them that really hit it big, and then that becomes like a part of the show's kind of allure, like the actual stars there. And then when they leave, there's kind of like a
Yeah,
drop off until they build a new star. So when Faye
exactly.
and Polar and Hader and who else? Uh, I don't
Well, I
know.
remember the first big one that I remember was Farrell. Like
Fallon,
I
yeah,
remember when Will Ferrell left. I mean, fucking Mad TV blew up immediately after that.
yeah.
Oh, that's sad. I just saw the picture.
yeah.
But I remember when that happened, like Mad TV blew up, and they started getting a lot better as well.
Yeah, because they had
And
somebody actually
then
pushing them.
yeah, and then all of a sudden, yeah. Well, I mean, what's it called? It just oh,
Oh, that's
sorry.
heartbreaking. That's absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But when SNL started going downhill, like people were surprised, but at the same time, they're like, yeah, you guys lost your best people. Like, pick it up.
Like for instance, Sadler, right? I remember he came into like real prominence when I was a kid. Actually, no, the first one I can remember
Yeah.
was Austin Powers. God, what's his name?
Mike
Mike
Myers.
Myers. Mike Myers was the first one I remember. He left, and so there was that little lull where what's his name? Sandler had just showed up, and he was starting to build his name, and then he became big, and so the show was big, and then he left, and then there's that lull again until Fallon and Faye and Polar and all those guys built the show back up again. There's always that little gap in between, like when things are really good on that show.
Yeah. Yeah, but those gaps weren't 5 years.
I, I don't think it's been 5 years this time around. Because there was a period while we haven't been watching, it has been apparently it has been good because it produced what's his name on Andy Samberg.
Yeah, but he started as a writer.
Yeah, he started as a writer, but then eventually he made his way onto the show, and then it
Yeah.
took a little while before it took off again.
He made his way on the show because he started doing those videos that he does, like
Yeah,
Space Cats or some of the
Yeah.
music videos that he did, and he was pressing Lauren Michaels to put him on the show as pre-recorded bits, which he didn't want to do at the time. But finally, Lauren Michaels agreed to it, and that's why he blew up. He would have blown up eventually, I think, because I'm sure he would have put that on the internet and it would have blown up on the internet, and some of them already were starting to get pretty big. But
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, his big claim to fame is that a lot of the stuff he does on SNL is pre-recorded instead of doing it live.
and I think because he like it's not like he blew up until Mike Myers or to Mike Myers or Adam Sandler level stuff. he wasn't as big as them. So I think that's why his period there wasn't as remembered as close as well.
Yeah.
I think
Well, I
this
think the
group.
whole thing with Sandberg is that he was there, but he left incredibly fast.
Yeah, he wasn't around very long. Well, at least
No,
he
'cause
wasn't big very long.
well, the thing is, like because he was there for I want to say maybe a year, and then started doing, um, he did all of his movies, he did all of his shorts, he started doing all of his TV shows, and people were hiring him out. I mean, he was, what's the name of his band? Lonely Island.
Yeah.
They were getting bigger, so I mean, it was almost like once Lorne Michaels realized his popularity, he wanted to keep him. But then Sandberg realized if he does his things by himself, he'll have so much more creative freedom. And I think that's when he decided to leave. Because with Will Ferrell, there was like this big hurrah. Same thing with Tina Fey, Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
I was never honestly personally a fan of Jimmy Fallon, but they all got this big hurrah when they left. I don't recall one for Andy Samberg.
No, him and a bunch of other like male cast members left at the same time, and nobody
Yeah.
made something about it. What's
What
his
was it?
name?
It was Andy Samberg. The guy that does Cyril's voice on Archer.
Yeah, he does the dad on Rick and Morty too.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot. Like he was never really like that standout SNL actor, but he was decent.
Parnell.
Chris Parnell.
Yeah, that's it.
Chris Parnell. And then he started doing all of his voice acting stuff. I mean, he landed the gig on Bob's Burgers. He did a couple of voices there, and then he started doing. I just said the cartoon.
Archer.
I think Archer. Thank you. And then that led to Rick and Morty, and he's been doing more and more and more and more. But it seems like he's doing more voice acting. Actually, isn't he still on SNL right now? Or is he like just popping back and forth, back and forth?
Honestly, I never knew.
I didn't believe he was.
Uh,
You know who else left with them, or at least like within seasons of each other? Sudeikis, Will Forte, Bill Hader, and Portlandia. God, what's his name?
I know who you talk about. I didn't know he was on SNL either.
No, he was on Fred Armisen.
Armisen, yeah, you're right.
He not only was he on there, he was on there for a good long time. I remember he came in. Like one of his first skits was when McCain was running for his first Senate seat or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, Parnell left in 2012.
Yeah, a bunch of them left at the same time. All of them guys, or at least most of them, and then they all got replaced by girls. Which, whether that was intentional or not, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't mind that much because they were good, and then the girls that followed were good. So, if the girls who had come on it sucked, I would go, all this politics. Look what you've done to the show. Because I like Sudeikis on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I never really had an issue with him as well. But there we go. I was trying to figure out. What's her name? Not Niecy Nash. She's on Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
She left the same time as Amy Poehler, didn't she?
Yeah, that whole they seem to leave in classes too. Cause Poehler, Fallon, Faye, Morgan, Chris Kattan.
What has Chris Kattan been doing lately?
Bupkis.
Kind of shows you, after they leave Saturday Night Live, who really has talent and who doesn't.
What was the name of God, the larger guy that was always with Fallon for like the frat boys getting high. What was his name? Jesus, now that's gonna bug me.
Wait, who?
The fat guy during the because there's always one fat guy on the show at one time or another. He
Right.
was the fat guy for Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey. He's lost a ton of weight since leaving, but God, what was his name?
Big fat guy? Was he black?
He was always part of the Jimmy Fallon sketch where they Horatio Sands. That's it.
He
Jared and
left way
Gobi.
before then, though.
I think he just stopped showing up on stuff before then.
Honestly, yeah.
He
Wow.
left.
So
I think he left in '06 or no? Yeah, he left in '06.
wow. So I'm looking at Chris Kattan's stuff. I mean, he's working, but I I've heard of almost none of these things.
Was it all like straight to video stuff, straight to DVD?
It's like TV series, and then it looks like like 2012. He did like three things, and it looks like they were all shorts
Really
or like low budge things. Um,
interesting.
let's see. The last big thing he was in was the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie film for theaters.
What character did he play?
He was Walter Mellon. That's at the very end of the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was in
He's actually
How
a
I Met Your
lot younger
Mother.
than I thought he was.
Yeah, he was in How I Met Your Mother for 2 episodes. That's what it looks like. He was in Hotel Transylvania 2. I didn't know that was a movie.
Yeah.
It says voice, so I'm assuming it's a cartoon.
Yes, yes it is.
Because it's
Adam,
an SNL member giving him a freebie there. Here,
yeah.
I'll give you a paycheck.
It's Adam Sandler doing the main voice of it. I'm sure he produced it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Oh, okay.
most of them are part of like Sandler's class of SNL, which included Schneider and all of them.
yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, it was like early 2000s was when he was like doing well for himself. You know, he did Monkey Bone, Corky Romano, House on Haunted Hill, Night at the Roxbury. Of course, everybody knows that
Yeah,
film. And then it
yeah.
just it was after Undercover Brother. That was like the last thing he was really in. And then it just slowly went downhill. And then it became a voice actor, and that kind of worked. And it just, honestly, he became a character actor.
You know what? I'm glad to bring that up. Once upon a time, Chris Kattan was supposed to be the next breakout star of SNL. That didn't pan out. I
I
do
never thought he
remember
was funny.
that.
Yeah, same
I
here.
remember. I remember there was a time like in the late '90s where they were like really pushing Chris Kattan, like with Monkey Bone and
Yeah,
stuff like that. He was supposed to be the big breakout star, and that never panned out. Huh?
yeah. I
Who
never
was
thought
it?
he was funny personally.
Yeah, he was good on SNL, and then I'll leave it at that.
Well, it's nice that somebody appreciated his brand of humor.
Yeah.
Eh, it will depend on what he was in. I'll say that again.
Okay. So, you guys, I assume, have both watched the movie?
I've seen the movie several times before. It's a
Which one?
decent movie, if not confusing.
Yeah. Did you
Wait,
see it before,
which
Mario?
movie are you talking about?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Which movie are you talking about?
I honestly didn't know. Because I texted Alex, and then he never got back to me. And
Well,
then I texted you, Jamal, and
Well,
then you never got back to me. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to watch Forrest Gump.
you do realize that you can go onto the website and look it up there.
Seriously?
Yes.
yeah,
You,
because we were supposed to watch
A Beautiful Mind.
exactly.
And
Oh, I've seen that film.
if you go onto the
Wait,
website and you go to the last show that's posted there on Monday, it'll be the show that's on Monday. It'll tell you what our next film is. It'll show you the film that we just watched, and it'll tell you the next one. So you'll see.
Really?
Yes.
I've never read these things. I just listen to the podcast. That's it.
Well, you can also listen to the podcast because at the end, it tells you the movie that we're going to watch.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, it says right there. Funny. Nope, never saw that before. On all of our film, or on all of our podcasts, I've never noticed that before. Well, when it talks, or when it says it on the thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to explain that again at some time in the future because I can't. I was reading up on other stuff right now.
Hey, Coffee Cane is back.
Okay. Well, before we get into that, then you've seen the movie before, then, right, Mario?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it more than once. It's always that movie that comes on right before I'm about to go to bed and go to sleep, and it comes on, and for whatever reason, I watch it until I fall asleep.
Wait, you said A Beautiful Mind, right?
Yes, with Russell Crowe.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't want to somehow accidentally get Jet Li in there again, all right?
Well, the only thing that would be close to it would have been the one that Michelle Pfeiffer was in. And I can't remember exactly what the title of that one was.
It's Michelle Pfeiffer. Nobody knows.
But
you know what's really funny? So, for some reason, not for some reason, I just didn't remember what movie we were going to watch today. So, this past week, I actually watched American Beauty.
Okay.
Because I guess for some reason my brain thought American Beauty was the movie.
Well, it had the word, beauty in it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, my brain's somewhat there. So I watched American Beauty, thought it was awesome. You know, I still love the film.
Mm-hmm.
And then I text you today, around like 3, I want to say?
Something like that, yeah.
And then I didn't hear anything, so I was like, okay. So I text you again, nothing. I was like, all right, fuck it. So I text Jamal, nothing.
When did you text me? I didn't get any text.
I sent Jamal a Facebook message asking him to text you and tell you what the movie was, but apparently he didn't get that either.
No, I didn't.
I texted you.
I'm looking.
I want to say it was like 4:30, maybe.
No.
Let's see. I sent a Facebook message to Jamal at 4:54, so about 5 o'clock. And then I got the text message from Mario at about 4:52.
Fuck me.
So it would have been about 3 o'clock your time, about 4 o'clock your time, actually.
Yeah.
All right, I did get a text from you, Alex, and the message. It was the last message in that conversation, and by that point, I was already out the door and going somewhere.
I see how it is.
I'm sorry.
You only like me when you're bored.
You sound like somebody I just stopped calling the other day. But
why, have you no longer been bored enough to talk to her?
Oh my God, more we can talk about later. But once something's in my pocket, it's gone. I didn't hear the damn thing when you sent that last piece. So
and what's the point of carrying it around with you?
What if I need to make a call, huh?
Oh, it's always about you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Do you guys know that there's also a new Rush Hour TV show coming out?
No. Is there?
It looks...
Wait, there was an old Rush Hour TV show?
Oh, there's a...
They called it Martial Law.
There's going to be a Tremors TV show, and Kevin Bacon's coming back to see it, or to be in it.
No!
Have you seen the last movie? The last
Tremors? No, yeah. I haven't. I heard it was pretty decent though.
It's actually a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun right now.
Okay, there's a video on this site. Cool videos. John Hamm and Emma Stone audition for Star Wars in the SNL skit.
And I'm gonna watch I'm gonna watch it at some point, so don't spoil it.
They got a picture here of John Hamm in the Han Solo vest, pointing at the camera.
Nice.
That's a miscast.
Oh, Star-Lord's father has been revealed in the latest rumors.
Rumor denied. James Gunn speaks out. Hang on. Claiming that Peter Cool's Mysterious file, the rumor claimed that 4 reputable sources have identified Kree Warrior Marvel, aka the real Squirrel Aaron Farr. Not so, says director James Gunn. So he says, no, it's not that guy.
Empire Magazine is doing a huge Star Wars cover thing. They got like 5 different covers.
Do you know how much that movie is projected to make?
The Wall Street Journal has reported that the flick has already made over $500 million in pre-sales alone.
The opening weekend box office, this is just an estimate of how much the opening weekend is to track between 185 and 210 million.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
Just for the weekend. That's just for the weekend. Jesus.
Jurassic World just made just shy of that in its opening weekend. So yeah, it's going to be this year's Jurassic World.
Jurassic World was this year.
Exactly.
Okay. Alex, you're awesome.
Fucking got us, Alex.
Anyway, so moving on to a Beautiful Mind.
Mine is probably I have the most simplistic kind of review for this movie, so let me go first.
Go for it.
Okay.
I bet you I can oversimplify the movie, but go ahead. It's not a competition, but go ahead.
Well, no. The experience of this film, I think, is if you're not really paying attention, this movie is immediately ruined for you. The rest, or if you're paying too close of attention, I think this movie is ruined for you for the rest of the viewing, because so much of this experience is finding out the twist in the middle.
Yeah. It's great that the twist comes in the middle and not the end.
Yeah, the twist in the middle it took me by absolute surprise, and I'm so appreciative that I was concentrating on other things in this film, like for instance the fact that while nothing about the plot or any of the things around it confused me at all, I always had an issue with the way and this is a weird thing to kind of bring up, with the set design of the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, I thought the room, like I feel plays an integral part in the movie, like the clippings room.
Yeah.
And none of that ever made sense to me. Like it was all garbled in there. Like I couldn't put string things together in there.
Well, no, that's kind of the whole point, because
maybe I wasn't supposed. Yeah, maybe I wasn't supposed to get anything out of it, but it throws so much out there. Like it's like an entire room of red herrings that I can't connect, or at least I thought were red herrings.
Right.
And so it's out there, and that always bugged me. But the rest of the movie played beautifully for me. I really did think it was a really smart film. I love the way they portray his kind of like view of the world with mathematics.
Yeah.
Especially like the bar scene where he uses economy as a way of getting to the prettiest girl in the bar.
Yeah.
And I thought all of that was played well. I thought the actors were absolutely on point. I thought the rest of the movie looked great as far as scene design, especially their home. That scene where she's in the bathroom and she just crashes the whole thing down. I love that scene. But this movie is so much about that twist at the middle that if you're paying too much attention, or if you even get an inkling of that twist, it kind of ruins the whole thing. And really, you can only get the full effect of this movie upon first viewing. Yeah. Because once you know about that twist, it turns it on its head. Well, you're never seeing it the same way again.
You kind of have to watch it a second time to catch all the clues that you missed the first time around. So you do get an enjoyable second viewing out of it.
Yeah, but if let's say you're watching, you're paying too close attention in that first one, and you happen to notice those, it robs something from the experience, and really it's that first initial experience that can never be replicated upon further viewings.
Well, because the first viewing, you really see the movie through his eyes, and in the second, and every viewing after that, you kind of see it through the other character's eyes.
Well, it's the Karate Kid rule. That's that moment in the original Karate Kid, where all the menial tasks and the wax on and the wax off finally comes together,
Mhm.
and it blows your mind. You can never recapture that mind blowing moment again. It is good for that once, and it's stuck with you forever.
Right.
But you're never going to be led into that moment again, unless you somehow lost all memory or recollection of that film, which you can't, because particularly because of that scene. But you can. It's why I hate trailers that reveal too much,
Hmm.
because we're robbed of that moment, the Karate Kid moment, the wax on moment. I want to call it the Miyagi moment then.
Okay. So, what were your impressions of the movie then, Mario?
Um, no, obviously I didn't rewatch it this past week. Um, I think I first saw this movie actually when we were at Pima, so that was like what, 08-ish,
Yeah.
09-ish. Um, I saw this one and the one with Matt Damon and Robin Williams,
Good Will
uh,
Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. I saw these two movies back to back.
Did they confuse you? Did you get them all mixed up?
No,
Okay.
no, my brain was a lot sharper back then, so
You haven't destroyed it with years of with marijuana use back then, did you?
no, it's just honestly, it's been the past 4 years of just stress.
But anyway, go ahead. You were saying.
Uh, hold on, hold on, I need to.
Speaking of marijuana use.
Uh, my girlfriend's showing her apartment to potential viewers right now, so I'm gonna have to move. So
Okay.
well, her last roommate moved out, so
Oh, so she's got
so
other people coming in. I gotcha.
yeah. So I'm moving into the bedroom right now. So
Okay.
give me a minute. Move all my crap into here. Oh,
And is this the first time you've ever been asked to go into the bedroom of your girlfriend's house?
yes. Mostly I'm on the couch. That's all a lie. Just to let you know.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a good hearty handshake at the end of every date, and you just go merrily on your way.
Yeah, exactly. Just good handshake and walk away disappointed. Yeah, apparently the guy's minutes away, so I'm trying to get this.
While he's doing that, give me 1 second to go use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, well, I'm on my laptop, so I can like walk around, kind of.
Until your laptop decides to restart again.
God, right? What the hell was that about?
I don't know.
Literally, literally, I was like, okay, I'm talking, and then all of a sudden it's like restarting. Goodbye. What? And then like, you guys just went blank on me.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It's like,
we heard you say I'm about to die, and then you were gone immediately afterwards.
that's awesome. That's how I wanted it to be, actually.
Well, then it worked out perfectly.
That was fucking amazing. Well, because what I said is I'm about to die. My computer's restarting itself, but apparently all you heard was I'm about to die.
Yeah, well, you see how concerned we are with it. We just waited for you to come back.
Yeah, no, clearly. Because you guys are just like, fuck that guy, I guess.
We'll have to look for another third member. Maybe see what Chris Reborn is doing until he goes to jail.
Oh, yeah, so let's see how that works out for us.
That'll bring in the viewers. So, Chris, anything new in your life?
God. Well, I can now pass gas, and it just sounds like the wind. Just
Like a crowd in a stadium.
yeah. Oh, okay. I'm all moved in.
Okay.
Should we wait for the other one?
Probably, because he'll want to know what you say about stuff.
But should he?
I don't know. Are you gonna talk bad about him?
I could. I mean,
Go for
would
it.
it be funny?
Yes, especially since he's just coming back. Do it now. Do it now.
Okay, good. You're all right. So he's just a prick. I mean, all in all, I mean, I'm glad he's doing fine. Still, just kind of just want to wait for him to fall asleep, and I'm gonna poke him in the eyeball.
With your
That's
finger, or are you gonna use it like a sharp
huh?
stick? What?
No, no, just a blunt stick.
Are you back, Jamal?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then we're gonna stop talking about you now.
No,
Yeah.
I was gonna spy and find out who you were talking to about.
About you. Mario was just saying that he wants to poke you with his finger or a stick or something in the eye when you're sleeping.
Didn't do nothing.
Anyway, no, he just heard you coming back, so he started talking shit.
Okay.
But we were waiting for you to come back. So Mario, go ahead with your analysis of The Beautiful Minds.
uh, it's a good movie. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, hi, Cat. Um, so I saw this film almost back to back watching Good Will Hunting.
Hmm.
Honestly, I liked Good Will Hunting better.
Okay.
Um, I've honestly never been a Russell Crowe fan, so there could be that.
Well, do you not enjoy having phones thrown at your head?
Uh, I've never had the pleasure of having that happen, but I'm going to assume no.
Okay.
But oh, sorry, cat clawed my foot. Hey, fucking, why is things not working? Get your black ass down. Get your black ass down. Fucking Christ.
I hope you're talking to the cat.
Anyhow, let's try this again.
Okay.
So, fucking beautiful mind. Um, the only way I can really compare it to is Gladiator. I understand the movie. I
Mhm.
get it. I didn't enjoy it, but I can see why it won. Because what, A Beautiful Mind won 3 Oscars? 4 Oscars. It won 4 Oscars. Um, and like fucking dickloads of other nominations, if I remember correctly.
Dickloads of them.
Yeah, just dickloads.
Let's see. It won Best Picture, Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Jennifer Connelly, Best Director, Ron Howard, Best Writing Screenplay based on material previously produced or published, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Russell Crowe, Best Film Editing. Oh no, wait. It was nominated. I'm sorry. It was nominated for Best Actor in a Lead Role, Russell Crowe. He did not win. Best Film Editing did not win. Best Makeup did not win, and Best Musical Original Score did not win. So they won 4 and were nominated for 4 others.
Okay. I mean, in 2001, what was it really competing with?
That is a good question.
2001 Oscar noms. Let's see.
God bless you,
Oh,
Wikipedia.
Right.
so let's see. It was competing with Best Picture. It was competing with Moulin Rouge, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, Gosford Park, and In the Bedroom.
Um,
I'm not guessing Lord of the Rings won one of those.
no, I don't think that's the right one. Are you sure you're looking at 2001?
Yeah.
Because Wikipedia has Best Picture at.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Academy Awards.
Oh wait, no, this can't be right because this is Gladiator.
Yeah, because Gladiator was 2000.
Okay, so I need
How about
the.
Box Office Mojo? I'm assuming that was correct.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, you were right. You got it.
So, yeah, I'm going to assume Lord of the Rings won for that year. Actually, no, it did win that year.
Well, it didn't win Best Picture because Beautiful Mind got it.
Right.
Ron Howard got Best Director over Peter Jackson. Denzel got it for Training Day. Halle Berry got it for Monsters Ball. Original screenplay got Gosford Park.
And like I said, I get I enjoy. Well, I really didn't enjoy Beautiful Mind. I don't like Russell Crowe as an actor. I don't think he's good.
Lord of the Rings got Best Cinematography.
Fucking shocking. God damn.
But what did you think about like the story or the character or how the story was presented?
Honestly, I loved everything else about the film itself. Um, I love because he was supposed to have something a little off about him anyway. But just the way or it's not even the way he did it, because fucking what? I can't think of his name. Ron Howard. There we go. Uh, directed this film, so I think he did a fantastic job with the pacing, with everything he possibly could do with this movie.
Hmm.
Technically speaking, this was a fantastic movie. Actually, it is a fantastic movie. Everything about it was great. But again, the only thing that took me out of it was Russell Crowe.
Okay.
And it also goes back to fuck all. There we go. Um, I think I want to say the first movie I ever saw Russell Crowe in was Gladiator. I'm trying to look real quick.
He was in a
But
Denzel Washington movie where he was a cyber. He was a VR virtual reality criminal that the cops were using the train with, and he got out of the system.
Was it Multiplicity or Johnny Mnemonic or
It
something like
wasn't
that?
Johnny Mnemonic. It was. It wasn't Multiplicity. I don't think it might have been. But yeah, he played the bad guy. He played a pretty decent bad guy in that. And that's the first one I've seen him in. That was pretty early on in his career.
was it Multiplicity?
I want to say Multiplicity was the comedy done starring the guy who did Batman,
What is the movie I was forgetting?
where they cloned him.
Yeah, I remember that. It's a Michael Keaton film. I can't remember.
Oh,
Virtuosity.
Virtuosity, that's it. Yeah,
oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't think he was in Multiplicity at all.
that was back in '95.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a couple years ago.
Oh, he was in The Quick and the Dead.
Yes, he was.
But I
Yep.
saw that after Virtuosity. There was a lot of good people in
So okay, I lied.
that.
So LA Confidential was the first one I saw him in. Um, Obviously, I don't even remember him being in LA Confidential.
I don't think he was the lead guy, was he?
Yes, he was.
No, no. Was he?
Yeah.
See, as much as I remember. I mean,
No, I think Kevin Spacey was the lead guy.
yeah,
What? I'm probably thinking of a different Russell. You said L.A. Confidential, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like that film noir kind of thing.
Yeah, it was fucking 96 film noir, 97, 96,
Yep.
97. Film noir. Um, Kevin Spacey,
Guy
uh,
Pearce, Kim Basinger, James Cromwell,
Crow. I mean,
Paul Gandolfini.
yeah,
But anyway, you were
yeah.
saying about
But
Russell
anyway,
Crowe.
honestly, that's my biggest issue with this film itself. I would have honestly, I would have loved it a lot more if it was anybody else but him. And that's why I think Matt Damon, um, Hunt for Red October is a lot better.
Good Will Hunting.
Fucking dang. Uh,
You're just.
you know what's the sad part is I said Red October and I'm like, it's not Sean Connery. I was like, just go with it, Mario. Fuck it.
You're just rewriting film history there.
I apparently am.
Yeah. Well, it being Ron Howard film, I'm surprised Tom Hanks wasn't the lead.
Yeah, there had to been something in with that.
I don't know, because like
There's no reason for him not to be. But then what was it, 2001? I'm pretty sure Tom Hanks was doing something.
I'm sure.
Or no, yeah, 2001. I'm pretty sure he was doing something at that point in time. Let's see. Band of Brothers. I'm pretty sure he was doing Band of Brothers at that time.
Maybe.
Oh no, he was just what? I don't remember him being in that.
Band of Brothers? No, you're probably thinking of Saving Private Ryan.
No, I'm thinking Band of Brothers. Saving Private Ryan
He
wasn't
produced Band of Brothers, but I don't think he was in it, was he?
right. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Plus, Saving Private Ryan wasn't until 98-ish. Oh no, he was. He was in a couple episodes.
Yeah, he was. He was the French officer slash British officer. He was in Castaway in 2000, and then Road to Perdition in 2002. So he was doing a lot of filming there.
Yeah.
And then Catch Me If You Can in 2002. So yeah, he was doing something.
You know, I've never seen that film.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
A lot of people keep saying like I would like it, but it doesn't seem too entertaining to me.
It's like this movie. It's based on a true story about somebody who's committing
Right.
fraud, and it was
So like the
interesting.
ultimate con artist and everything.
Yeah, it's played. Leonardo DiCaprio plays the lead, and the cool thing is that he's like supposed to be 16, and he's defrauding like American Airlines out of millions of dollars. Back in the 60s, when $1 million was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, and there's a great scene too in it where Tom Hanks comes to the door of his mom's place after he figures out it was a kid and who he is. He goes to the mom and he asks, do you know where your son is? And the mom's like, no, I don't. She's like, what kind of trouble is he in? He's like, well, he's defrauded the airlines for some money. And she pulls out her checkbook. She's like, really? How much is it? I'll just pay it back. But
honestly, it's there are movies that have never really been on my radar.
Yeah.
Aviator is one of them.
You mean Aviator with DiCaprio?
Yes, I was just going to ask, is Leonardo DiCaprio not your guy? Are you just not interested in his films?
Apparently he's not the Academy's guy either. Oh,
Actually, did you guys hear that joke that was happening during Wolf of Wall Street, where a lot of people were just dicking around. They're like, what if they made a biography on Leonardo DiCaprio and the guy playing Leonardo DiCaprio actually won an Academy Award?
That would be sad.
That would be amazing.
I thought that would have been fucking hilarious.
Especially if he does some sort of speech about how crappy the Academy is.
Yeah. So I thought that would have been a funny fucking thing to hear or to watch.
That would be amazing.
But no, my vote for film. Honestly, I don't. There aren't many actors who I can honestly say, I don't like. Russell Crowe is one of them.
Okay. Is Leonardo DiCaprio the other one?
I'm okay with Leo DiCaprio.
Okay.
I have no qualms with him. I've never never really realized how much an actor can actually influence the film itself. And, you know, we all hear it. You're like, oh, that he wasn't cast correctly. He wasn't cast correctly. But it happens all the time. People just suck at being casted, and they can't play the part.
I was watching a documentary about the making of Back to the Future, and they talked a little bit about how Michael J. Fox was not the first person they started shooting with.
Right?
It was something Stoltz, Eric Stoltz,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're filming, and Robert Zemeckis knows the film is not working, but he doesn't want to believe that it's the fault of the guy that he cast as Marty McFly. And he always wanted Michael J. Fox to do it, but Michael J. Fox was finishing up that TV show Family Ties at the time.
Yeah.
So basically, they wasted enough time filming that Michael J. Fox came free. They fired Stoltz and hired on Michael J. Fox and just shot basically around a lot of the footage that they already shot, like a lot of the reaction footage, especially towards the beginning of the movie, is them reacting to Eric Stoltz and not Michael J. Fox. So once Michael J. Fox got into the role, everybody said that the movie instantly improved. So yeah, I mean, casting can be a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they wrote it with Michael J. Fox in mind, and if anybody other than Michael J. Fox were, you know, you can't tell somebody act more like Michael J. Fox unless they're in a Michael J.
Shake
Fox
more.
movie. Yeah. That. But yeah, it's like you know, it is kind of incredible, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad casting job because I thought Russell Crowe did a really good job in this. It can just be, you know, you don't like the guy, so you're more aware of him as the actor than him as the character.
Yeah.
Because if you watch anything that that what's his face is in, the guy who plays Dr. McCoy in the new Star Trek movies,
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Everything that he does, he is unrecognizable in. He's completely different in Dread. He's completely different in Ghost Ship. He's completely different in Doom, and completely different in the Chronicles of Riddick. And for the longest time, I didn't realize that those four people were the same person.
He's in Chronicles of Riddick?
Yeah, exactly. He plays the main bad guy, the like the king's son or whatever. The
No
guy
fucking way.
who's got the girlfriend, yeah. And he's in Doom opposite of The Rock, and you know basically battling against The Rock at one point.
Right, right. No, fuck. I, you know, part of me knew that because you know you look at the page and everything. It never clicked though. I don't know why. You there? Are people alive on me?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I was like,
I had it on mute, sorry. But
oh, I was like, people stop talking to me.
which is really weird because I started talking, you guys weren't talking, so I
Yeah,
thought.
exactly. I'm like, you know, normally somebody would tell me to shut up at this point in time.
I was trying to be a supportive friend and listen to the whole thing.
But yeah, I mean, you know, casting is definitely a very noticeable thing at times. You know, because like
Yeah.
Christopher Plummer comes on, you're like, oh hey, it's that guy. You know, or
Yeah.
same with Josh Lucas. He has that kind of look and persona about him that no matter what he's doing, he's always that guy with the really nice smile, and that smile is almost distracting towards any character that he does.
That's very true.
Yeah. But because I was watching this movie again this time, this is like maybe the third, fourth time I've seen this, and I noticed that the first time we see Russell Crowe and his character, he's in a black suit, a bow tie, and I just kind of noticed that the suit was really, really big on him. That he's kind of lost in this suit, and he looks very, very small and very awkward, kind of like he might be wearing his dad's suit or something.
Hmm.
And then that goes through his college years, and then once his college years are done, we see him again in a black suit walking into like MIT or DoD headquarters or something. He's walking into someplace, and he's in this really nice tailored suit, well fit, all grown up, kind of the guy in charge. And costuming in this movie played a very big role, especially since it was a period piece, but just in the way that it shapes and how we see the characters. That we see him first, young and kind of dumb and awkward, and then we see him, growing up, more educated about the world, but still kind of awkward. And
Yeah.
I just kind of found that interesting myself. I ended up watching a documentary about the guy that he played, John Nash, who apparently is actually a lot crazier in real life than he was portrayed in this movie. It was
I can see it.
it was he was actually looking through newspaper articles looking for a code because he believed aliens were trying to ruin his career. He told a
That's
professor,
awesome.
yeah, he told a professor that he couldn't do an assignment because he was on the cover of Life magazine disguised as the Pope, the 23rd Pope.
Is
And
that what that was?
yeah, and he knew that he was disguised as the 23rd Pope because 23 is his favorite prime number, so it must have been him.
Jesus Christ.
He went to Europe, specifically France, like 3 different times trying to renounce his citizenship. Each time he was basically kidnapped by the State Department and the embassy and basically deported back to America.
Wow.
Yeah. During his college years, he ended up getting a woman pregnant and then completely like leaving her and not helping out with the kid and kind of disowning the kid and not saying that the kid was his. So, he as awkward as he looked in the film on camera, during his college years, he was getting laid. He didn't have a problem with that apparently.
Well,
Apparently he was an elitist and a dick and didn't talk to anybody that he felt was inferior mentally to him.
Sounds
The
familiar,
more you're
Alex.
telling me about this guy, the less I'm liking him.
I know, right? It's like there is they make a movie, and in this movie you have to have somebody that the audience relates to and that the audience likes. So even if it's based on real events or a real person, you have to dramatize it to make that person likable. So the audience has somebody to root for. Because you
Yeah.
probably wouldn't root for this guy unless the main character was actually his wife, and she had to live through this and be with this guy and deal with him. And her courage could have been the movie, but it wouldn't have been as I don't think it would have been as uplifting as the movie that they had here today. But it's funny how too that sometimes life and art aren't always the same thing, which actually made me come to a conclusion in my life that that I'm actually going to stop lying. That I think that that's part of my downfalls, that I sometimes do tell lies a lot. So instead of lying from now on, everything that I say is going to be an artistic representation of true events.
All right then.
Yeah, because I think
Let's leave that hanging out there for a second. Artistic representation of true events.
yeah, because if you can get away with that in movies and say it's based on true events and people think it's true, then I could totally do that.
Okay.
No cat. All right. I can see that coming from you.
But
All right.
No. Get. Fuck it. It's all right. My girlfriend just got a cat today. It's just a little fucker.
is it a kitten or is it a full-grown cat?
It's like 1.5 to 2 years.
Mm.
So it's still like kitten mentality, but it thinks it's in a kitten body, but it's still big.
So it's the grumpy, the angsty teenager of the cat world.
Yeah, essentially. And it won't stop getting into shit.
Angsty teenager of the feline world.
pisses you off. All right. Well, so I actually didn't hear anything about from Jamal.
About the movie?
Yeah.
No,
Or
I
life
did.
in general. I mean, we're all here.
Well, no, I did give my review of the film. That it was something that you had to appreciate that first viewing to really get the full effect of the movie. And once that's gone, it's the Miyagi rule from Karate Kid. Once you've had that experience, you're never going to have it again. It's that kind of movie.
Oh, I got you. Sorry, I was trying to deal with cat, so I heard you, but I wasn't paying attention to you. Gotcha. Well, I don't mean to mean that like
No,
maliciously
that's
or
fine.
anything,
That's
but
fine.
it's like
I get it.
yeah, it's like I was listening, but at the same time, I have this 10-pound little fucker near me. Okay, I mean that makes sense though. Actually, I still didn't even first time seeing the film, still didn't like it. Even like got tried to get caught up in it. I actually watched it with Mikey. It was like Mikey, Santiago, and myself. I think we all watched that movie together. Beautiful Mind. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um, I honestly don't know how Mikey felt about it, but I remember I was underwhelmed personally. Thought it was going to be a lot more. Thought it was going to be something, because it had won Best Picture, it won Best Director. I'm going to kill this fucking cat. It got what? Best Supporting Actress?
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer Connelly. It did a lot of things right, and I was expecting a lot. I think what it really was that my hopes were so brought up from this movie. That's what you get, stupid.
Did you just pour water on the cat?
No, it ate shit and fell out of a cabinet.
Okay. So, you've seen the Stephen Hawking movie, right? The Theory of Everything.
Yes.
How does that movie compare to this one then?
It's more relatable.
Good.
I think the Stephen Hawking one, was it
Theory of Everything.
Theory of Everything? Thank you. I was like, fucking, I saw the movie opening night. I met the actors. I met the director. I couldn't think of the movie. But I think that one is more relatable.
Okay.
Um, and I want to say it's because that we all know Stephen Hawking and we know who he is, his accomplishments, what he's done.
Right.
But then you get to Beautiful Mind, and I cannot spell you, and you get Russell Crowe, and I mean it's a dynamite cast. But I mean, what was this film based off of something realistic, or was
Yeah,
it just?
it was based on a real guy's life who he came up with the game theory, I think it is, and then several decades later he won the Nobel Prize in economics for it.
Oh,
Like 2, 3 decades later. Like,
oh, you're right. You're right.
yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of. I'm gonna stop talking. My brain is dead right now. I don't know why. I was thinking of Good Will Hunting.
Mm.
Sorry.
Or I think that was based on.
Yeah, that was based on real events.
Yeah.
Um, give me a second. Just gathering my thoughts again.
Well, okay, then how about the Intimidation Game? Have you seen that one with Cumberbatch?
Yes.
The Imitation Game.
Imitation Game.
What did I say?
Intimidation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Imitation Game.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay. So that was also based on true events, and
yeah, because that was actually Alan Turing,
yeah,
and they actually still have the Alan Turing machines, and a lot of things nowadays are based off of that too.
like the computer.
Yeah, the thing that we're communicating with each other with.
Mm-hmm.
No.
See, I'm honestly gonna say
Yeah.
again, it goes down to actor.
Okay. So you like Cumberbatch way better than the other guy?
Yeah, I don't. Again, I really don't like Russell Crowe. Oh, so I saw The Martian this past week. Um, I'm not too sure if you guys have seen it yet or not.
I have not.
I would highly recommend it. I'm not. I'm still waiting for Matt Damon to have like a breakout role. I've seen him in just shitloads of movies. Um, he's never really wowed me. He always does like a really great performance. But I've never seen a movie with Matt Damon where I was like, holy shit, he deserved whatever. He deserved winning an award for this one. I mean, he's won. I think he's won an Oscar for. I think it was Private Ryan. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Good Will Hunting. Yeah, I mean he's been nominated a lot of times, but he's rarely won. Um, but he's always statistically very good. Russell Crowe isn't that for me. Cumberbatch is that way for me as well. He's always doing well, and he can make it relatable. Uh,
So it really does come down to the choice of actor for you.
yeah,
That had it been literally anybody else, you probably would have related to this movie and liked it better.
yeah, I honestly think so. He seems distant. I don't know how, I don't know why, but he always just seems distant, and that he's not. You know what it seems like? It seems like he's acting instead of being that character. Well, let me explain that one, I guess. It seems like he's Russell Crowe playing the character, whereas other actors, they're that character themselves.
Like Carl Urban, that gets completely lost in the character and you don't recognize him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because even when he's on that new Star Trek film, both of them, it's very much like you're watching DeForest Kelly instead
hmm
of him.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
So I know I totally see what you're saying, and I guess Russell Crowe's acting. It, the thing is, I watched the documentary and it had the actual guy on it, so I got to see who he was playing, and he kind of looked like the guy a little bit, especially with the old makeup on. When he
okay,
did the Nobel Prize, he really looked like the guy. Um, and he kind of acted like the guy. And apparently there's this one scene in the movie where he takes a very long time to order tea and even decide if he wants tea.
mm,
Supposedly they put that in the movie because Russell Crowe and this guy actually went out for tea, and this was the conversation they actually had. So he and the hand movements are just like the guy. So Russell Crowe does put forth an effort to figure out who the character is and do a good acting job. But you know, kind of there are some actors out there who are like that, who who are Russell Crowe being another guy, like they're
yeah,
playing dress up or something. And maybe he wasn't feeling it in this movie. Maybe there was something about it that he couldn't connect with or didn't understand. But that's kind of interesting.
I don't know. What do you think, Jamal?
I um I'm impressed by Russell Crowe as an actor, to be honest with you. Not necessarily for anything he's done in particular. I did, to be honest, I don't think he should have won for Gladiator. It's not like he did anything there that kind of blew my mind away. What I'm impressed
Mm,
at is that you hear all this stuff about him and his antics and what he does outside, and then you see interviews with him, and he seems like this, you know, rough around the edges Aussie from the backcountry or whatever. The fact that he's able to kind of transition and play a character like that suggests that he really does immerse himself in the character work down to even to the physical eccentricities of the character, and that impresses me. I
So
as
then,
far as him
how
and
does Daniel Day-Lewis stand up
go
for
ahead.
you then? I'm just curious.
Well, it's not the same kind of impress though. Like Daniel Day Lewis is just like he is what he is. He's an auteur. He's an artist, and he kind of molds himself all the time to whatever he needs to be. But it's
Right.
not like he's molding himself from the exact opposite of what those characters are. They're still whether he finds a grain of truth in them that resides in him. I think the fact that that Russell Crowe is somehow able to play intelligent characters and to do it the way that he does, I think has always impressed me. I mean, he's not like he's high on my list of the greatest actors ever. I enjoy him in some stuff, not so much in other stuff. But you know, in this movie in particular, it did not throw me off all that much. But from the way he portrays the character to the way Alex actually describes that person in real life, I think he does a job of making that character seem more likable. Which, considering who he is and how that guy actually is in real life, I think should be a testament to just how well he prepared for the role, at least, or his effectiveness as an actor in that particular thing, to make the character not so much likable, but just make sure you didn't dislike him and stayed engaged somewhat throughout the movie.
Mm.
I think on the opposite end of that, it would probably be really, really fun to hang out with Daniel Day-Lewis in between shooting days. Like, I bet you on his off time when he was doing Lincoln, it was amazing to hang out with him and see
Because
him
he never breaks character, not even when he's offset.
Yeah.
be Lincoln, walking around the set, going home, going out to dinner with the wife. I bet you him ordering at a restaurant as Lincoln would have been an amazing thing to see.
Man, I really wish there was some like hippie there just tripping on acid. And you see Daniel Day fucking Lewis walk in like goddamn Lincoln.
Especially if he still had the beard and hat,
Yeah.
talking in
Well, I
that
mean,
voice.
if
Yeah.
well, because whenever he does do a character, Daniel Day Lewis specifically, whenever he does a character, he is that character.
Mhm.
Like he's not.
He doesn't
He,
turn it off at the end of the night.
yeah, like he's a straight up character actor. Like I know in There Will Be Blood, like he pissed off a lot of people,
Yeah.
and it wasn't for anything except the fact that he never showered. Or no, I'm not sorry. It wasn't There Will Be Blood. It was Gangs of New York.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there would be blood because he played a pretty big bastard in that one.
Oh yeah, he was a dick in that one too.
Yeah. He probably well, that came second, so he probably had the shower. I'm sure that was a new rule that the wife
Yeah,
installed in their relationship.
there were 5 years in between Gangs of New York and There Will Be Blood. I'm pretty sure he took at least one shower.
No, I'm sure the wife was all like, "Look, you're never going without a shower again. You shower every day. I don't care who the character is. That character showers every day."
Yeah, but I mean, he's synonymous for that.
Yeah.
He's a very good character actor. Every single character he played, he lived that character. He became that person.
Mhm.
I don't know Russell Crowe's.
Acting background.
Yeah, like I don't know the way his style is, because maybe if I did, I could understand the character more. Understand what this person is going through. But his acting style has always been off to me.
Mm,
Maybe it's just me.
maybe it seems like him and the guy who played Batman.
Michael Keaton, Christian
No,
Bale.
Christian Bale. Seems like him and Christian Bale have kind of like same personality types. Like they're these, foreigner bad boy kind of guys who just, they immerse themselves in a character, they immerse themselves in their job, they really get into what they do, and when somebody gets in the way of that, they don't know how to handle it politically, and they just end up yelling at somebody, throwing phones at them, getting into fights with them, just generally being dicks.
Honestly, I like Christian Bale though.
He's a good actor.
He is. Now, funny enough, I'm on IMDb right now and I'm looking at user lists,
Hmm.
and someone wrote actors I like. The page or the picture they decided to use was Matt Damon.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it really is with Russell Crowe. You know what it really is? It's like, oh shit, what's her name? Not Kate Blanchett. Fuck, I'm gonna come up with her name in like an hour and just text it to you guys. But there's a female actress who I think of the same exact way. Like their acting styles are the same exact way. Is that they're
What has she been in?
honestly I don't even remember. I just know her face, and if I
Okay.
were to see it, it would come to me.
Okay.
I'm actually looking around for her right now, trying to
Okay.
find her.
So
But
her acting style is the same as Crow's?
I don't want to say the same style, but it gives off the same feel to it. You know, where you feel distant. You're not immersed in this character. You're not immersed in this world because you're just focusing on this one person.
Is it Julia
Huh.
Roberts?
I just thought of something. No.
Okay.
Um,
What did you just think of?
was Russell Crowe? Um, did he ever do theater?
I believe so.
Yes.
He did. I think that's what bugs me.
Do you think he's a theater actor trying to be a movie actor?
Yeah, I think that's what really bugs me. Uh,
See, I'm looking over his body of work, and I think there's more movies on here that I like than I dislike from him. Like I liked him in Virtuosity. I liked him in. I did. I didn't really see Gladiator. I saw most of Gladiator. I didn't really see all of it. Um, I liked him in Beautiful Mind. I liked him in Cinderella Man. I thought he was great in 3:10 to Yuma. Um, did I see American Gangster? I don't think I did. Oh, no, wait, I did see American Gangster. Yeah, I didn't much care for that movie. I thought Russell Crowe was pretty good in it. I was kind of indifferent to the whole thing. Um, he was in Man of Steel. He did a decent job
yeah,
there.
he played Jor-El.
Yeah. I never saw Les Miserables. I hear him singing was an interesting thing. Um,
Well, you also have to remember he has a band or he like sings
yeah,
in like New Zealand.
yeah,
So I mean, he technically should have a singing voice.
yeah. Well, I think he does like, musical theater too. Isn't that how he came up, basically?
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find some Russell Crowe music.
But
That's not Les Mis.
well, I mean, speaking of, actors with bands, what is it? Keanu Reeves and what's his face from the Pirate of the Caribbean movies? They both have bands too.
Yeah.
In fact, Johnny Depp got into acting because he was looking for money to make money while his band was getting off the ground. So
Yeah.
he auditioned for what was it? Friday the 13th, just on a lark. And on the opposite end of that scale, the guys from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea and whoever the front man is, they started a band because they were waiting for their acting career to take off.
Yes, they were. Funny how life takes you.
Yeah. In fact, they were in a Charlie Sheen movie together, The Chase, which is by far one of my favorite movies. Just one of my favorite throwaway, low budget action, mindless movies.
I don't recall them in that.
Yeah, they were the guys in the green monster truck, they kept calling it, but it was just a jacked up Ford Blazer or something. No, not a Blazer, Bronco, Ford Bronco. It was huge and it was green, and they tried hitting the car that Charlie Sheen was in, and they just ended up flipping over a bunch of times on the expressway. They were like a
I'd have to
couple.
I know the scene, but
Yeah,
I don't picture their faces in it, you know?
yeah, they were like a couple of rednecks in the car.
Yeah. No, I know the scene, I know the movie, I just don't recall that part. Huh. Actually, apparently Keanu Reeves is, like, pretty fucking good. Dog Star is the name of his band.
Yeah, I knew it had something to do with a dog, but I don't.
Yeah.
They never play on the radio. I don't know what kind of music they play. I don't know what kind of band he's in.
I don't know. Let's see.
Him and Johnny Depp. I know nothing about their bands.
Mm-mm. Well, it's
Yeah,
something Reed.
Crow's in some weird like part country, part rock band, and Depp just plays guitar for people.
Is he like? Well,
Yeah.
is he a studio musician then, or because he had a band at one point?
I
He,
think he's just his own things, in all honesty.
Do you guys watch Doctor Who at all?
Yes.
The
no.
new Doctor Who, Capaldi. Apparently he played guitar in a band at one point, and now he's doing a lot of guitar playing on Doctor Who. And it was to the point where one of the episodes had him doing a guitar track over the opening credits.
Oh, sorry. Really?
Yeah, and he's really good too. He's like,
Huh.
Then the main character died on Doctor Who recently.
um, last season, the boyfriend of the companion died. I don't know what happened this season because I haven't finished watching it yet. So, if you know, don't tell me.
The chick died. The Okay,
Didn't I just say don't tell me?
I didn't.
But I kind of knew that was going
I
to happen.
didn't.
You did. You just did. But
Who died?
well, I'm not going to say it out loud because there are people in the room.
Well, you can edit it out. Who died?
Spoilers.
Well, no, there's people in the room with me who also watch that show who don't want that spoiled for them. So I'm not
Tell
going
them
to
to cover
say.
their ears.
But
Cover your ears, Mario.
I knew that was going to happen. I actually heard that before, so I was expecting that. I just didn't know if there was somebody else.
It's not who you think it is, because I think you think it's like the main girl. It's not.
Okay.
Huh.
But yeah, just then don't say anymore because I still have like maybe 3 episodes left. 2.5 because I fell asleep during one.
Okay.
Should Facebook
Okay.
it to him.
But so did you figure out that woman's name whose acting style is weird?
I
Is
gave
it
up after a
is
while.
it Christy Swanson?
It's Trisha Takanawa.
Is it Reese Witherspoon?
No.
Is it the squinty face chick from Bridget Jones's Diary?
Renee Zellweger? No.
Yeah.
I don't know why I knew that one in a heartbeat.
I know, right? She's not so squinty faced anymore. She got her face unsquintified.
Is she?
Give me 1 second. We'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, she had some
Go
plastic
touch
surgery
yourself.
done like last year or 2 years ago, and everybody's all like, "Ah, she's no longer squinty."
Oh yeah, like that's what was holding her back.
I don't know. I'm surprised it took her so long. I figured she would have done that after she did Empire Record.
Empire Record. That was the one with um
Liv Tyler and
yeah.
the one guy who was in he was in one of those FBI procedural shows about missing people. He looks like a Baldwin, but he's not a Baldwin.
Mm.
Pelagnia, I think his name is. Anthony, yeah,
Zellweger.
LaPaglia.
Oh God, she did not age well, did she?
Well, that's the plastic surgery. They like opened her eyes and I think they did her cheeks and her eyelids.
Yeah. Well, she was born in the early 70s, so she's what, pushing?
She was born 1969.
Oh,
So
69.
she's 3 years older than me, so she's 45.
Mm.
No, 46. But, you can see the before and after. You can see how squinty her eyes are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
her
she,
from
gosh, she
Jerry
really
Maguire.
was.
But yeah, they cut her lids or whatever, or I think they did the bottoms because it's like the bottoms that are just all puffied. And then they did something around her mouth too because her mouth looks different. Which I don't know. I don't think she needed to do that. She had very much a signature look. It's not like she wasn't getting work. She got fucking Jerry Maguire. She was in a Tom
Yeah.
Cruise movie. She's doing her makeup different too. That's kind of part of the reason too. This when she was younger, she really kind of kicked on the lipstick, and now she's doing this whole natural looking thing.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was about. It's like she was trying to. It seemed like she was trying to be older, with all like that makeup. She was trying to make herself seem or look older.
I think she was trying to draw attention to her lips and away from her squintiness.
Yeah.
Either that or she just couldn't see enough to put makeup on in the right spots.
Fucking Christ. Hey, just curious, what movies has Paul Giamatti been the main actor?
Sideways.
He was the bad guy in Shoot 'Em Up.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, in the miniseries, what is it, John Adams?
Never saw that.
Apparently, he was really good at it.
that doesn't
Hmm.
surprise me because he looks kind of like John Adams, really.
He won an Emmy for it, so
I just found
I'm
a
looking up
quad
Paul
bugging about.
Giamatti right now.
No, I'm looking at his page right now, and I'm like, I want to see more of him.
Yeah, he's really good and stuff. Whatever he's in, he's really good at.
Yeah. It's like what's his face? The guy that died from the heroin overdose last year, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman is amazing. He was the best part about Mission Impossible, whatever one he was in. I think that was 3.
Yeah, because he
Three.
played the
Three.
he played the main
Bad
bad
guy.
guy, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. And he
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
guyed the hell out of that movie.
yeah.
Going from that character he played in Boogie Nights to that, yeah.
So there are stuff that
Mm.
he's lead in, but they're not really big. Like Barney's version, I don't know if anybody's seen that.
He was in an episode of Downton
Mm.
Abbey.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he's just one of those
He was
veterans.
also he was also inside Amy Schumer.
Yeah, well, who in Hollywood
Ew.
hasn't been? Oh,
Yeah.
You.
no, I'm not in Hollywood. Or did you say you?
No, I said ew.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
gross.
he was the main character in Lady in the Water. In
That
that
was
Was
him,
he?
wasn't it?
M. Night Shyamalan movie.
He was in that M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Uh,
God, Amy Schumer. That's an actress I don't like.
You realize that this episode of this podcast, is devolved into, you remember that guy? I don't like that guy.
Well, yeah.
well, nobody said that about Paul Giamatti, and they better not say that about Paul
I
Giamatti.
like Paul
He's an
Giamatti
amazing actor.
personally.
I like Paul
I
Giamatti,
love
yeah.
Paul Giamatti. He's just that pudgy little awkward white bald guy. Love him. He's like the Alex of the TV world.
Hey, sometimes words hurt.
Good comeback, buddy. Fucking got me. Damn, I still can't think of that actress I don't like.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
It's gonna bug the shit out of me. It really is.
Giovanni Ribisi is also another really good character actor.
Mm.
But was it Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, well, instead of pointing out the really good ones, I'm going to point out a really bad one. Like when somebody tries to do character acting and just fails miserably. A couple of action heroes have done that. Remember that movie where Stallone gained like 40 pounds and pretended he was deaf?
Oh, Copland.
Yeah, Copland. Not a great job there.
I like that movie.
Copland?
And
Oh, fuck, that movie sucked.
Really? You guys didn't like that?
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
well, I won't say that it sucked, but I will say this: I've seen the entirety of that movie. I'm sure I've seen the entirety of that movie.
Mhm.
Can't remember a damn thing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Janine Garofalo's in it. I'll tell you that much.
So was De Niro, wasn't
Okay,
he?
what's the movie about? Yeah, so is Harvey Keitel.
And Michael Rappaport. And I'm pretty sure the guy from um, the T-1000 was in it, and the guy from Goodfellas.
Wow, the T-1000.
Yes.
Ray Liotta
Yes.
and
Ray Liotta is the T-1000.
No, he's the guy from
Robert
Goodfellas.
Patrick. Thank you.
And Robert Patrick was the T-1000. Which I think the T-1000 should always be the T-1000, no matter what movie he's in. He should just be running behind people's cars.
Character actor at that point in time.
All right.
And another action hero that tried to do that was Vin Diesel.
Oh, he tried to
Have you-
do that gangster movie where he was on trial or something.
Yeah.
See that? Didn't that get
Which
good reviews though?
which is it's always really weird that those two kind of failed doing that because I don't think a lot of people realize that those two started off as like real traditionally trained serious dramatic actors.
Oh,
In fact, the Vin Diesel got to start directing. That's
yeah.
where he got his break.
Well, Vin Diesel is he wants to do that kind of stuff. He's chomping at the bit for somebody to give him that. And I
So is
think,
Stallone.
yeah, well, I mean, Stallone has his shots, and Stallone basically wrote his own stuff. I mean, Rocky's kind of like that, and the first
Yeah,
Rambo's kind of like that. So, Stallone's had his shot doing it, but
yeah, yeah. Notice how Stallone in all the Rockies, he always has that moment of a great emotional, release
mhm,
or explosion, and because that's the part of him that started off as like a really serious,
mhm.
actor, and still really wants to do serious stuff. He got caught up in the fact that he enjoyed being the biggest star in the world.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a catch-22. But he should, since he's pretty much one of the biggest stars in the world and has a shit ton of money. He should go out and he should do some independent stuff. He should do something that's a little more. He could even write independent stuff and either hand it off to another director or direct something smaller budget that more showcases his acting than it does, his action ability. And
Well, he did recently do an independent film where he played a supporting role in it. I think the title was Reach Me or something like that, but all I remember from it is that it had a ton of like stars from yesteryear.
yeah,
Like it had Tom Berenger. Is it Tom Berenger? He was in
Tom
Sniper.
Sizemore.
no, it's Tom
No,
Berenger. It is
Oh,
Tom
Berenger.
Berenger.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
like a bunch of actors you hadn't seen in like forever. It just they all show up in this one film. Looking
See,
through it right now,
yeah,
trying to find it.
even in Creed, it looks like Stallone does more acting than he does anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
he's playing essentially the character that the guy who played the Penguin in the original Batman TV show played, Burgess Meredith played in the original Rocky.
Oh, there you go. Sylvester Stallone, Keira Sedgwick, Thomas Jane, Lauren Cole, Kelsey Grammer, Kevin Connolly, Tom Berenger. It's got a Danny Aiello, and these are just the ones you haven't heard of or haven't seen in a while.
Yes.
And ironically enough, it even has Tom Sizemore in it as well.
Well, there you go.
Does it really? That's
Yes.
All right. Anyway, fellas, it's getting to about that time.
Yeah.
So, any last thoughts about the movie that we saw today?
I would recommend against it.
Would you recommend it or recommend against it there, Jamal?
I would recommend it again just to see kind of like it's typical Oscar bait.
Mhm.
But so there's things to take away that are good, and you can watch it, and it's entertaining and engaging. I especially recommend it if you haven't seen it before, because as I think about it, we haven't actually given away the twist.
No, we have not.
That's a great part of this. Yeah, I definitely recommend that you go see it.
Yeah, I would recommend it too, especially anybody who hasn't seen it. I'd definitely say, give it a shot. Make your own decision about it. I liked it. I thought it was very effective. I thought the acting of the supporting cast is really good. They're the ones who really sell the twist. It's not even Crow. It's everybody else. It's basically everybody else and I want to call him Tom Hanks, Ron Howard, the way he shot it, and I think it's pretty well done. So yeah. So I think Jamal's pick this week. I think you were supposed to have picked the movie for today, but since you were absent, I did it in your stead. So why don't you go ahead and pick today?
In my steed or my stead?
Steed, you're a horse now.
Yes.
Okay, fine, whatever. All right, so next month, our next episode should be like the first day of next month, right?
Ish.
Sure, why not? It's either the first day or the last day, so
Okay.
Sure,
the
why
beginning
not?
parts of the month.
I think. Okay. Whatever. I think we should have a Christmas themed month.
Okay.
And in the spirit of just having found manlymovies.net.
Oh God, you're gonna say Jingle All the Way, aren't you?
No, there's a top 5 Christmas action movies list.
What
Of
was
those
the name of the movie?
movies,
Or what was the name of that website again?
manlymovie.net.
Okay. Is Reindeer Games on that list?
No, but here, well, this is
The
just his
net
top
on
5.
there?
No, the list goes Batman Returns, Bad Santa, hang on, Lethal Weapon, the first one,
Oh, that was during Christmas.
and
Yeah, it was.
Die
You're
Hard,
right.
Die Hard 2,
Well,
and Die Hard.
I was gonna say even Die Hard was at Christmas because
Yeah, it was.
the sweatshirt. I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
So those
Hey,
are the
where'd you find
5.
that list?
There's a section at the top like where it says home news reviews. There's a top 5, and I think it's at the bottom of the first
Oh,
page.
there it is.
And so I think we should pick Christmas action movies.
Okay.
You guys even threw out 2 that I had no idea of. You guys all right with that?
Which 2 did we throw out that you didn't have any idea of?
No, Reindeer Games and the Net. Didn't you guys throw those out?
Oh, I was just being a dick with the net. The net's not in Christmas time.
Oh, whatever.
Is that the what's her face from Sandra
Sandra
Bullock?
Bullock.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reindeer
Yeah.
Games is definitely that's. I don't know if you want to go down that road.
Yeah. I don't like the way you're saying that. So, all right.
Okay.
Anybody want to do like a Christmas theme or?
Sure.
All right. Then my pick for the next movie is the first Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All
I'm
right.
gonna start looking up movies that were released in December.
Well, I think more
Well,
Christmas
no, not.
like Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, like actual like set in like during Christmas.
Well,
Christmas.
yeah,
Like if you
but
could pick
for
it.
for the most part, if something's released in December, like I'm going to find one that was released, because it is Christmas. I'm not gonna just go for like,
Christmas with the Cranks.
fine, what was that movie
When I
called?
said this,
Goddamn
I
Night at the
was
Museum.
when I said this, I was kind of like thinking like Christmas action movies. But if you guys just want to do straight up Christmas movie, that's fine.
Well, we can do Christmas action, whatever.
Well, I was gonna say because my put in for it was gonna be A Most Violent Year. Came out last year. Yeah,
Wow.
came out last year. Have you guys seen that one yet?
No.
No, I've heard rave reviews about it. I'm down to see that movie at some point.
I actually saw it in between. So I was on set during the morning, and then we had a 12-hour break in between. Or I'm sorry, we had a 6-hour break in between, and then we had a 12-hour overnight. So I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go watch a movie because we have 6 hours, and I went to go watch A Most Violent Year in between, set last year, and it came out Christmas time, if I remember correctly.
Is it set during Christmas though, or like during the?
There are a couple of like Christmas scenes.
Because it looks like it might take place throughout the entire year of 1981.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it starts in the winter. I mean, what would you think of something like that?
Does it
Well, are
end?
you eating something?
No.
Mario? He's fat. Of course he's
What?
eating something. I said he's
Why?
Sorry.
Why?
Why what?
Why?
No,
Why
I
would
heard
you?
something crinkling in the background, and
Oh,
I'm
no,
like,
no. No, I have like there's like plastic right here that I just stepped on an accident.
oh. I was like, dude, are you eating something? I was like,
Yeah. There's a bag of Jolly Ranchers. What he accidentally stepped on.
Jolly Ranchers are gross.
Ah, you suck.
I agree.
Ranchers are amazing.
Jolly Ranchers are disgusting.
Oh, you guys are disgusting.
You're disgusting. I had nothing on that one. I had nothing.
You
I'll admit.
could have at least said
Yeah, well,
disgusting.
yeah, well, your face.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But see, I like
gonna have
candy
to come-
that. I like
I'm gonna have to come up with a Christmas movie.
nerds, and I like nerds, of course, because I hang out with you two. But I like nerds. I like the Jolly Ranchers, the Skittles.
Anybody
Oh
seen
no,
Bad
I
Santa?
got it, guys.
I mean, somebody.
No, I got the movie. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yeah.
I think technically that would be an extra film, and it definitely takes place during Christmas.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna find the worst. I found it. I know what we're gonna watch.
If you're saying the worst Christmas movie, that's Reindeer Games.
No, it's actually a tie between Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever or Batman Returns.
Did I
I'm
just
kind
read
of
that to
leaning
you on
toward
this
Batman
list?
Returns. Huh?
This is on the top 5 list for manly movies. That's number 5 on their list.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Not
No.
the Grumpy Cat movie.
I'm beginning to think this site is just like the guy's just defending like really bad movies. Because he likes U-Bold movies too.
Ugh,
Uh,
nobody likes those.
At least this portion. At least at this portion, he loves the U-Bold movies.
what has Uwe Boll done?
He's actually done a lot. He's done a lot of video game movies.
Well, I know he does a lot of video game movies, and that's why he wanted to do World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear what happened with his Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that was
apparently
funny.
because of that, he essentially just said, "Fuck the film industry," and he was quitting.
I
saw the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the video too, and I kind of admire the guy for like going that route and standing up for himself and being all like, I may not be the best director, but at least I do what I love, kind of a thing. But he went a little too far with it.
Insulting fans for what they do like, it was going too far.
Yeah, I can understand.
Exactly, and that's where his downfall was.
I'm looking at pictures from the film Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. And basically this one picture is this girl hiding behind a Camaro with the Grumpy Cat, and Grumpy Cat is just looking straight into the camera, being all grumpy.
That just came out of nowhere.
That was the worst laugh in the world, Jamal. That was the worst laugh in the world.
I know. That's because I wasn't ready to laugh. It just came out of nowhere.
So there's a Grumpy Cat trailer on IMDb, and apparently they care so little about this they didn't even put an ad in front of it.
Yeah, the movie didn't do too well. It was just rolling off the Grumpy Cat stuff. Wow.
Oh,
Uwe
Grumpy
Boll
Cat
made
talks.
a Far Cry movie?
Yes, he did.
Oh, how shitty was that?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. It was on Netflix for a while. It might still be.
What? How? Okay, I want to see what video game movies he did make.
He made Bloodraven. He made Far Cry. He made Postal. He made something else, and then he did that.
Rampage is Rampage based off of
Yes, yes, it is.
the
That's the other
dinosaur
one.
video game or?
I don't know.
Oh no, different one. Different
But
Rampage.
No,
Okay.
I think Rampage is the thing that he wanted to do a sequel for with the Kickstarter,
yeah, he
and
wanted
that's
to do
what
like
set him
Yeah,
on his.
he wanted to do
Rampage 3 or
Rampage
something.
2. No, oh, you're right. It was Rampage 3. Because I remember I was like, when the fuck is Rampage 1 made?
He made
Uh,
Rampage 1, yeah.
and then he wanted to do the World of Warcraft movie, and basically Blizzard was just like, we're not going to give those rights to anybody, especially you. House of the Dead.
Yes.
Wasn't what is it? Not Return of the King. Uh, he did a movie about which was based on Dungeons and Dragons. That was supposed to be the
Oh, is that Ray Liotta movie?
yeah.
Re,
How did,
In the Name of the King.
in the Name of the King, which by the way, the fact that he gets certain actors just tells me that he blows most of his production budget on salaries. Like he pays Ray Liotta and
Okay, guys,
Jason
this is
Statham,
my
the other
this is
guy.
my choice for the next movie.
Oh, dear God.
I don't know what the fuck it is, but
Oh, dear God.
no.
Spit it out. Did you send it to us?
yeah, I
Send
sent
it
it
to.
to you.
Oh, that's why you're giggling like a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Danielle the Wizard.
Daniel the Wizard. Where'd
Daniel
you get
was
Yao? Daniel the Wizard.
what is it, German originally?
It looks like it's German.
For German Idol. Okay.
Oh, you know what I really want to do? I want to do the lowest rated, most popular movies on IMDb. So
Okay.
like Manos, The Hands of Fate,
Oh, God.
Birdemic,
Oh, Birdemic.
Disaster
We should
Movie.
totally do. We should totally do Birdemic.
Let's see, House of the
So
Dead.
are we
Shock.
abandoning? Are we abandoning Christmas theme or?
No, no,
No,
no.
let's do the
So
Christmas
I'm
theme,
just
and then
saying.
next year we'll do like these bad films.
Yeah, like
We'll start
it
off
has
the
to
new
be.
year with bad films. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
start.
it has to be. It has to be at least like a 2.5 and under.
Okay.
The Room.
But I don't think The Room is 2.5. Actually, what is The Room? I'm curious.
It's got to be.
Turks in
I'm gonna say it's at
Space.
least a 6. It's a 3.5.
Well, what is Birdemic?
It's a 1.7.
So
Going Overboard. Is that with Adam Sandler? A 1989 comedy is 1.9. Space Mutiny is a 2.
have you ever seen Dracula 3000?
Yes.
Oh my God, that is a horror.
Son of the Mask. Dracula 3000. You see what I'm saying though? There's like fucking epic movie. There's some really big films on here.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
I love the name of this character, the lead character in Final Justice. Homicidal Sheriff Thomas Jefferson Geronimo.
Let me guess, he's black
Oh my
and
god,
Indian.
guys, there's
There's what?
Die Hard Dracula.
Is that John McClane meeting Dracula? Or is that
Die
Dracula?
Hard Dracula.
No.
A modern day updating of Dracula legend that finds Stephen, a good looking American hero, devastated by the death of his girlfriend when he threw. Okay, don't like it already.
No, it's a piece of shit.
Okay.
I'm surprised it has a 2.
Well,
I like that Paris Hilton is on 2 movies on this list of bad movies.
A House of Wax.
No, it's The Hottie and the Naughty. That's a 1.9.
Ugh.
And Pledge This, which is a 1.9.
I've never heard that one.
Santa with muscles.
Would you accept horror-themed Christmas movies as well for your action, like Jack Frost or Silent Night?
Tell you what, we'll do anything other a spin on Christmas movies. So I'm going to do an action one. You want to do a horror one? That's fine.
Okay. But anyway,
Christmas and. There you go.
Christmas and. So I'd like to thank Mario for joining us today.
Wait, there has to be like Christmas porno.
I'm sure there is.
Or soft porno. Found it. All right, I know what we're doing. Yes.
All right. Well, you write that down so you don't forget.
Who wants my Yule log?
Oh dear God! Now I have to watch that.
You guys are in trouble.
So thank you, Mario, for showing up. Even though
Remember what Santa wants for Christmas? Ho ho ho.
And thank you, Jamal, for showing up. If you found us at all interesting, go on over to mof.ninja and you can leave a comment about how right or wrong we were about today's movie or any of the movies we talked about or just our personality in general, I guess.
Or the fact that we can't, or what little we talked about and we can't stay on subject. But that's part of the charm of this show.
Oh, at least we still talk about movies and such, so. Alright, well, again, thank you guys for showing up. It's been fun as usual. And what was next week? Lethal Weapon?
Ooh, Rob Schneider. I don't like Rob Schneider.
You just have to get one more in there. Alright, good night.
Good night, guys.
I can see. Oh, Christ, that was funny. Alright, guys. I'm getting yelled at by the cat and the lady.
Okay.
Oh, I'll talk to you guys next week. Wait, what are we watching next week?
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Alright, I'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay.
Rob Schneider.
Alright, bye.
Bye, guys.
Join the makers each week as they discuss film, TV, and pop culture. To learn more about them, go to mof.ninja. This is John Cleese saying goodbye.